I can't begin my day until I've had a Dickens cider.
There's nothing better than waking up to a good old Dickens cider.
My girlfriend loves Dickens ciders.
My sister came to stay with us for a month, and my husband couldn't go a day without a Dickens cider.
My girlfriend loves a Dickens cider.
My mum loves the Dickens cider. My sister loves to wake up in the morning with a Dickens cider.
I'm a bit young, but I would love to try a Dickens cider.
So there you have it. For over 150 years, Frederick von Dickens has developed a beverage that literally brings women to their knees. So fellas, for the sake of the economy, get a Dickens cider.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name's Bill. You're watching Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. This is late night. And I got a hell of a show lined up for you tonight. I've got Joneser with me. Hello there, sir.
What's going on, Bill?
Doing good, man. And we got Sir Clifden with us as well. What's going on, Sir Clifden?
Doing real good. Can't wait till after the show and try Dickens cider.
I'm going to get some Dickens cider tonight, too, man. That's some good shit. All right. Yeah, we have a new sponsor today, folks. So get out there and get a Dickens cider tonight.
I love it.
Highly recommended.
Yeah. How you doing there, Joneser?
Oh, I'm okay. It's scrambling here at the last minute. Just trying to get the coffee together. I got to get the phone charger. As Lyric drained my phone down to almost nothing.
Cliffy and I were talking in the green room earlier before you got in, and I said, "You what? Joneser will be in here after the show starts. He always does." But hey, consistency is a plus, right?
I won't miss it, but I'll make you think I'll miss it.
Yeah. No worries, man, because I play it right up to the end too. I'm still uploading videos sometimes while the live stream starts, so.
Yeah, I like to get in the green room beforehand, but a lot of times that just don't happen.
I know it. And look, you were in the chat like what, an hour before the show started?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was ready then.
Yeah, Ben Stutley says he'll be lucky if he's going to be awake, but have a good one. I don't have to worry though, because Ben's always wanted to watch the replays, so I don't have to worry about that. And Bjorn Jorgensen comes in with a sham bollocks. Good to see you there, sir. Michael Purvis hops in and says, okay, I'm here. Time to go live. And this is like 10:18. It's 10 o'clock, man. I still have shit I've got to get doing on this show while you guys are waiting. But he also tells us that he had a great day. He hoped everybody had a great day, but not me. He sounds like he had a shitty day at work. So it's so shitty that he's starting to go out and apply for other jobs. Been there, brother. Done that. Know what it's all like.
Yeah.
Johnny Sorensen here with us tonight. And Johnny, you got the link. If you want to come in and hang out with us, come right on, man. The door is open. And my buddy, I Like Salt, who doesn't live too far from me, but we've never actually met in person, but maybe someday, says, Bill, you have the best show available tonight. Well, that's interesting, because there was another show that a lot of folks like to watch that hasn't been on in over a month. I wonder what's going on there. I'm not finding anything anywhere else worth watching tonight. TV excluded. I don't watch that thing anymore. Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm almost exclusive YouTube. Almost exclusive YouTube. Absolutely. And moving on down the line, Bjorn Jorgensen, he had a slamming day at work. So he's probably going to skip tonight. So there will be no Majestic Tiger in the room to keep you guys straight. So act right or I will hammer your ass. But I don't have nothing to worry about with who I have. I have the best chat in the world. And I Like Salt commiserating. Moving on down the line, I posted this. Yes, I haven't gotten a tip since December, but if you guys want to tip me, run over to Streamlabs.com/WeirdFantasticToyAdventure/tip. There you will have a tip page, and you can send me a tip of ever how much you would like to in whatever dollar or monetary form that you have in your country. That will go straight into my PayPal account, and it will help me to get a better internet. Jim and I were talking about that earlier. He wants me to upgrade my internet. To do that, I've got to buy a new cable modem that will support a higher speed. Otherwise, my cable company won't even let me talk about getting higher speed internet than what I have. I'm at the limit of what I can get with my modem. So more money.
It's the name of the game.
That is the name of the game. And the longer you YouTube, the more money you spend, Clifton.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've already experienced that.
Yeah, sure.
Johnny Sorensen says, we'll be getting ready. We'll join in a little bit. All right, well, we'll be here. Cranked up, waiting for an amazing toy adventure. Well, the amazing toy adventures usually happen on Sunday Sunday afternoon, 12 noon, my time. But we'll talk about toys tonight because there is something that happened recently. Everybody's covered it. I'm not really going to cover it in great detail because everybody else has done that in a better way than I have. But we can talk about our own feelings about it. And that would be Snake Mountain, which we've seen a deep dive on a couple of different channels. Let's see. Moving on down the line. OBS is here. Good to see you, sweetie. I hope you had a chance to see the magic video on the Patreon page. I will show that tonight because I've recut it so that YouTube won't ding it. And moving on down the line, Manic Plastic says we are outdated. Yes, we are outdated. We are Gen Xers, and everybody hates us, and we don't give a shit because that's the way we roll, Jack. We've been told all of our lives that we weren't special. We've been told all of our lives that we were bull crap and that we're going to either wind up in prison or in the graveyard. And by God, we showed them differently, except for those of us who wound up in the prison and the graveyard. They were the weak ones, though.
We're the Goonies.
Hey, what's up there? Johnny Sorensen, also
doing, guys?
Bat fan, John, aka Not Rolo.
Is the sound coming okay?
Yeah, you're coming in fine. You look clear, crystal clear, brother. Crystal clear. By the way, go ahead.
I wore this shirt just for you. Hang on. I wore that short for you.
There you go, brother. All right, good deal. And he says Not Rolo. Speaking of Rolo, I haven't heard from Rolo in over a week, although I've seen him lurking around here and there. So I don't know what's going on with him.
He's around somewhere.
He might be out here lurking right now.
Lurking.
I told you to talk to me, and you ain't done it yet. So you know what you're doing to me, right? You're pissing me smooth off. Just telling, just letting you know. And Manic Plastic agreeing with me. Let's see. I Like Salt says, I am outdated. I see poop ahead in industry and everyone else does. Have you ever been in a job so long that you can see A plus B equals C? So you know when these things are going to happen, that this is going to happen. You know it's going to happen. And you try to let somebody know about it and they don't listen to you. And so you wait for it to happen and you go, imagine that.
Yep.
I'm actually the packing manager at my job. So not only do I see the shit that's about to happen, but I'm also responsible for it and have to try to prevent it.
Yeah.
So, and then I have to answer for it through the big boss when it does happen. And we just got a brand new $300,000 machine that not a damn fool there knows how to run. And guess who had to figure that out?
Joneser, because he's the man.
Yeah.
And you know, you ever had one of those jobs where nobody really likes you or wants to have anything to do with you? They need you, and then until a week later when it's, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of my beast, though, because packaging manager done right, you push start and the machine goes, and you really don't have to do nothing but hold a clipboard and check your boxes and watch it all work right. And then
that's kind of like back in the day when you would put the new card in your computer and Windows plug and pray would come in, and you plugged it in and prayed that it would actually work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing my job correctly, everything's working just fine. I'm just standing there as a glorified guy who just watches it happen. But then watch once it don't work. Then who's got to figure that out? This guy. So if it works right, you're not doing anything. What do I need you for? And then if it ain't working right, you ain't doing your job. What do I need you for?
Mm-hmm.
Never get any credit.
That's called catch 22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
1,000%.
Steve says aloha. Aloha, Steve. Good to see you. We've already got Ocean Breeze Salty laughing her ass off. Nice intro. I am a sicko. Yes, I am. Thank you. Cider better than Anheuser-Busch products. A Dickens cider is better than about anything. I'm just saying. And if you think that a Dickens cider is not the best thing that you've ever had, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. The internet said, dip it out, Bill. Dip that shit out. Dip it out, internet, you motherfucker. Yeah, I'm going to apply for Walmart so I can send you guys all the exclusives plus those Mossmans. More power to you, brother. I would appreciate that if you did, but I'm telling you right now, the headache of working for Walmart probably isn't going to be worth it. Because Walmart is a shit place to work for.
Amen to that.
I've seen few exceptions to that. My aunt's been working for them for probably 20 years, and they treat her well. But she's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I don't know how that works over there at Walmart, but I know most of the people that I know that work for Walmart are glad to get the hell out of there when they got out. My daughter, good example, she worked there for until she got a better job and she got the hell out. Another shit place to work for is GameStop. If you're working for GameStop, I'm sorry. Best Buy. If you're working for Best Buy, that place is going under quick. Get the fuck out while you can. It's bad, real bad.
Yeah.
It's like a ghost town in there on mine.
It is.
Now, that's because they're running their employees off. If you want to see what's going on at Best Buy, watch Camelot 331. He is funny as hell, and he'll tell you exactly what's going on over there. He gets on their Reddits and shit and listens to all that shit that the employees talk about. Yeah, it's fucked up. OBS, kids at work always doing shit to piss me off, and they're in their 30s. Yeah. Well, people in their 30s are old enough to be my children, so that means that I treat them as such. I'll send you a snail mail tip. I got something else to send you. All right, baby. Everything I get is appreciated deeply. And of course, I like Salt and OBS know one another, so it's good that they have a chance to talk here on my show. Bill, we know you ordered 3 Snake Mountains. One, Jack, I did order one, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did, and I ordered it from Amazon.com. So here's the deal: we're gonna have a pool going here to see whether my Snake Mountain arrives packaged in a packing container, or whether they take the box that Snake Mountain arrives in and just slap the shipping label straight on the box and send it.
I'm going to go for the Jim Carrey effect. I bet you it's going to get thrown around, kicked around, and
there's no outer box. It just says Snake Mountain on the outside of it with an Amazon shipping label stuck onto the outside of the box. Man. They do that shit at Amazon. I'm telling you, I had a food processor sent like that. It came torn up and in pieces with shit missing out of it where the side of the box busted open.
I have the life hack to get around that. Here's the trick. Here's what you do. Here's how the pros do it. You order it off Big Bad Toy Store, and if you find it at retail at Target or Walmart, you cancel it at Big Bad Toy Store because they're so painless to cancel. And if you don't find it, Big Bad will send it to you packed reasonably well.
Yeah,
but they keep an eye out for the eBay.
Big Bad for some reason has a little weight. They have a little weight on that, but
they do.
But they will package your shit good. I'll tell you that.
And also, like, it's painless to cancel from them. So if you happen to be walking through Walmart or Target and you see one, and then you get, well, here it is. It's like
I wonder though, Jones. I'm gonna get with you, Johnny. I'm sorry to talk over you, man.
No, you're good.
What I'm wondering though, you brought something into my mind here because I'm not getting on you or anything, but when you start gaming the system like that, though, I wonder how much product that Big Bad ends up having to sit upon because of all those cancellations like that.
I don't think so, because they always end up sold out most of the time.
Well, they do. They do. It appears to be sold out. but then mysteriously you see all this product come back up again for sale. You know what that is? That's all you canceling people who found it at Target instead, and you canceled your big bad order. I don't know how long that's going to last for. It's painless now, but I can guarantee you at some point in the future that they're going to tweak that just a little bit, because that's probably bad business.
Well, they have for like the Mezco one that's like $300-400 and stuff like that. Like anything big, you're gonna get a non-refundable. They do like $40-50 non-refundable for the big guys.
Hey, Pop Actor Rick in the house. Good to see you, Rick. I hadn't seen you on the show in a while. He says, I bought 2 Snake Mountains. I need a third wall like I did with Gray Skull. Good idea. So you're going to have either 2 faces or 2 doors?
Yeah.
All right, what was that you was going to say, Johnny? I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the delay. It's especially I'm the furthest away, so it's going to get the biggest delay. I got my Grey Skull, which is sitting right next to me there, from eBay UK, and that came in the original shipping packing box. Like, I've still got the box that came in, and that another box exactly the same shape and size on the outside that says Mattel that they put inside their big shipping boxes. So I'm going to keep an eye out for eBay UK to see if they list the Snake Mountain in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to order just from both and then cancel one of them if I have to.
Manic Plastics over there, I think he's ranting. I'm not sure. Yes, I said it, LOL. I live in Catch 22. We talked about Catch 22. I think I'm behind on the chat. I'm trying to catch up here. Yeah. I don't know if Rolo got his posters or not. If Rolo would talk to me, Rolo, maybe I could find out for you. I'm just saying. Gojatron wants to know if YouTube is the prison or the graveyard. It's one or the other, but whatever it is, it's broke.
No kidding. Definitely.
When you work for a local company 10 to 30 years, you get sick of all this shit and you want to move to a different environment. Yep. I see that. That's why I call them kids. They're younger than my son. Hello, Gap After Dark. Good to see you, sir. Glad you came on the show. You weren't supposed to get that, Bill. Okay. All right. Hey, Bill, you over to 700 subs. Cool beans. Yeah, I got over 700. I got one today while I was chatting with Jim and friends over on Jim's Patreon Google chat today. My fireworks over here in, I guess it's this corner here where they'll show up sometimes. Got a subscriber. Good to have you there, new subscriber. Hope you're watching. If you are, get in the live chat and let us know. But I do have a question. Are you guys buying the Super 7 Thundercats figures? No, I am not, because that's too much for me.
I got some.
I have some of the S7 cats. Okay. Johnny does. I'm reading your chats now, still trying to get the missing ones. Pop Actor Rick says 2 faces because I bought a vintage mic and that will go on the other side.
There you go.
There, good idea. I'm thinking about seeing if I can jury rig my vintage mic into the new play set. It's an idea.
Not a bad idea.
The Melvor in the house. Good to see you there, sir. By the way, Melvor, I hope your ears aren't burning because we were talking about you and your freaking bags over there at Jim's place.
Those bags.
Damned old bag. The Melvor, awesome man, helping Grindhead move. That is absolutely right. He helped Grindhead move. And because they didn't get to where the bags were during the move, that he didn't get his bags. So the bags are still sitting in Grindhead. This is going on for a year now.
Blackgate 2023 continues.
YouTubesies, a graveyard and a combo. Yeah, there you go, baby. Now I've been drinking your coffee, Bill. There you go. My coffee's the best coffee in the world because it's made by me.
What do you got, Jonesy?
Oh, I'm just bagging and boarding comments. It never ends over here.
Right.
Bought a crap pile more of them and just like to plug along as I go. There we go. What do we got there?
That's
Scooby. That's awesome.
Got that this week.
Two y'all think alike. We all think alike, putting a mic on Snake Mountain. That's good.
That's some old gold majors I'm trying to figure out what to do with.
Let's put you on the big screen there. Show some of the comics off.
Yeah, show some.
Well, they're not new. These are old buggers.
Damn.
I got some I don't even know what this is. Preston's and
That's some old comics still.
they're all from like the 50s and the 60s.
Wow, Roy Rogers.
Yeah, they got some Sergeant Rocks in there, and
Where'd you pick him up from?
some old guy at that con I was at. He came up with a box full of them, and he's grumpiest old man I ever seen in my life. He comes out and he slams this box full of comics on my table. He's like, "What do you give me for these?" I'm like, "Man, I ain't even looked at them yet." And he's like, "Well, what are you waiting for?"
I'm going to be like that when I get to be old. Wait, I'm already old.
I feel it too, man. I'm getting grayer every day. But I looked through them. I didn't see nothing earth-shattering or life-changing in there. But I always try to be decent with folks, you know, and just be like, you know, well, it's a nice collection, you know, right when I'm about to lowball you. You know, and I just was like, I can't pay much for him. And he's like, well, I'm asking for $1 million. What do you got? And I was like, $25. And he's like, sold. You know, and off he went. And I looked a couple of them up. And so I should be able to get my money back in a small pittance. But
Nice.
yeah, I didn't get rich off him.
I don't know. I saw a Bonanza comic in the back in there. That's got to be good.
Yeah.
I haven't looked them all up yet. One of them was a #1 and was going for like $30 on eBay. But what people put on there for asking and what it actually sells is usually a world apart. But if that's the case,
there's a way to search there, Joneser, for ended auctions.
Yeah, no, I do that.
Yeah, that's where you find out what it's actually going for.
Yeah,
because I've seen shit sit on eBay for years and years and years, and it never sells because the person has got the ridiculous price on it. By the way, I'm wondering if the actual burnt Firestorm that's been for sale on eBay, Superpowers Firestorm that actually was put on a charcoal grill and burned up. The guy was selling this for $7,000. I know it's a joke, folks. It's got to be, but that thing has been on eBay for years and years and years, and nobody bites on it.
Did you see the one? I think Comic Tom 101 had a Web of Spider-Man #1 that the guy claimed to be like possessed by demons and cursed, and he wanted $100, and it was all written all over and marked up, and he bought it for $100 because the guy had a cool story in the description.
Okay, yeah, well, that's like the burnt piece of cheese toast that's got the face of Jesus in it.
Right. You know, I thought I might try that. Just put a pentagram on one of these cheap comics and just throw it on there and see what happens. You know,
got to come up with a cool backstory for that too. You know,
found it in the bottom of a well next to bones. You know.
Hey Jones, I wanted to ask about your display behind you.
Oh, there's mostly vintage.
Now listen, guys. He does not have a problem. He does not have a problem. He does not have a problem.
Yeah.
Not have a problem.
I meant the dirty word, the modern stuff, the Masterverse. What did you put on the back of there? Is like pegboard, or how did you put that?
Yeah, it's a pegboard, and they just hang up just like they do when you find them at retail.
So, yeah. I couldn't tell on the smaller thing, so I wanted to ask when you're on.
Yeah, my wife picks on me. She's like, "Looks like a goddamn toy store down there now."
I've been trying to find some for ages, but I can't find anywhere that sells it here.
Yeah, it's just a pegboard with some hooks. It was all it was. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gone with the wind, huh? When you stick stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
People are weird. You just not figuring that one out. A Dorito shaped like John the Baptist. If he's shaped like John the Baptist, is his head in a plate over here and his body over here? Just ask him. I'm not religious. I am religious. I just know my Bible. John the Baptist he was beheaded, if I'm not mistaken.
Believe it or not, when I was drumming in a heavy metal band on Sunday, I was on the worship team.
All right. Guys, are y'all ready for something? Maybe the magic trick I did earlier for Jim?
Heck yeah.
All right, to set this up, Jim and Lauren have moved into their new apartment. I haven't really had a chance to hang out with Jim a whole lot here lately because he's been in the process of moving, and he's been indisposed, as those of us who know him and hang out on his Patreon know, right, Johnny? He hasn't been around, and I haven't really had a chance to talk with Lauren but a couple of times, and really didn't get a chance to talk with her much at all. But I was curious as to whether they were compatible enough with one another. And of course, he's already fianced her, so she's now his fiancée. And so I decided that I needed to test out whether this relationship might have some connection going on that will make it a lasting connection. And I decided to do that with magic, and I'm going to show you that trick now. And this is the opening and closing that I put onto it as well. So enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who will entertain you tonight is an award-winning member of the Society of Memphis Magicians. He is a scholar, a philanthropist, and a humanitarian. He is also a pathological liar. Please welcome, Bill Thompson.
What I want to do is I want to see if there's a connection between the two of you guys.
We are touching.
Now, I'm talking a psychic mental connection, something that will last for a lifetime. Are you two compatible with one another? I think this is the perfect trick to determine that. Okay.
It's a little late to do this shit now.
Now, I'm just saying. But here we go. All right, first of all, we're going to start in our imaginations and then we're going to move into reality, okay? What I want you to imagine right now is that in each one of these packets of cards are the 4 queens from the perspective deck that it's from. So the 4 queens from the blue deck and the 4 queens from the red deck. Just imagine that in your mind, okay?
Okay.
And I will start with Jim. Jim, I want you to pick a packet, the blue packet or the red?
Red.
Okay, the red packet, okay? So that leaves the blue packet for you, Lauren. All right, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to show you these cards. So I'm going to try to show you the cards, all right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see those? And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 blue cards. All right. So, Lauren.
Yes.
You know that there are two colors in the deck. There's the black cards and the red cards.
Yes.
And the black has 2 suites. There's the clubs and the spades.
Yes.
And the red cards have 2 suits. That's the diamonds and the hearts.
Yes.
What I want you to do with the 4 cards, clubs, spades, diamonds, hearts, I want you in your mind, don't say anything, don't tip us off, don't tell Jim. In your mind, I want you to think of one of those queens. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to get Jim to do the same thing you're doing, but I don't want him to think of the same cards you're thinking of. So, whisper in his just the color of the card you're thinking of. Tell him the suit, just the color. Therefore, he can pick up an opposite color. If you're picking red, he'll pick black. If you pick black, he'll you see what I'm saying? Just whisper the color in his ear. I don't want to hear it, okay? Just whisper the color of the card you're thinking of. Whisper the suit color.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
You think of the opposite color queen. One of them. You got it? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one card from that packet. I'm going to flip that card over, and I'm going to throw it into this packet. And then I'm going to take one card from this packet. I'm going to flip that card over, and I'm going to throw it into that packet. Done. Okay. For the first time, Lauren, which queen did you pick?
You can say.
Say it louder.
Spade.
The Queen of Spades.
Yes.
You picked the Queen of Spades. Jim, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you pick?
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
What the fuck?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, so if you remember, I moved one card from one deck into the other one, and I moved one deck from the other one.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
You know he didn't touch me.
We'll start here, and then we'll start here and do that.
Do you see it?
How much?
Did you,
what?
Can you see it?
Now. Wait a minute.
Not through.
Had you not picked that queen, and had you not picked that queen, there would have been no connection, but there was a connection.
Yep.
I think you just earned yourself an additional invitation to the wedding.
Bill, you kind of scare me now, but that was cool. I don't get it.
It's called magic.
I don't get it. Holy shit, that was really cool. How the fuck do you do that?
You guys, I think y'all are a pair that are going to be connected pretty well. I think that trick proved it.
That was really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking this magical journey with us. Please be sure to come back and see us again real soon.
You are truly a wizard, Bill.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. I've been called worse by better, but thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I come to the conclusion I think that Jim and Lauren have a connection after all, so we have nothing to fear there.
The cards have spoken.
That's right. They
In
never
your
lie.
face, David Crockerfield. Thank you there, Johnny. And awesome, Bill. Thank you, OBS. Yep. Magic is exclusive to Patreons. I will show it here on the live streams every once in a while to give you a nice little taste of what you can get over there on my Patreon. I used to post the magic tricks over here on my regular YouTube page, and the algorithm got confused and didn't know what to do with them, and they got very, very low views, so I gave up on that. But I figured that it might gain me some Patreon support. So if you want to support me on Patreon, Nightbot will tell you how. He comes in every once in a while and does that for me. And let's go around robin real quick, and we'll start with Bat Fan John, a.k.a. Johnny Sorensen. How's it been going, my friend, and what have you been up to, sir?
Started a new job, which is same as my old job but different company, so I'm glad to be busy working and having things to do. Gives me money to buy things like this.
Absolutely. A new Princess of Power Shadow Weaver figure.
Yeah.
Very good.
Tired to unbox that yesterday.
Absolutely. And do you have trouble getting the figures over there where you are, or is it pretty easy?
I don't know any way to answer that without a lot of swearing.
That tells me all I
that tells you. I pay these guys here cost me more than this line here.
So the Origins figures are like platinum and gold over there in Oz.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. And that's sad. Oh, sad. Do you have a Snake Mountain on pre-order?
I do, thanks to you and Jim going on about it last week, being up on Amazon. The link was up and then it was gone, and then it was up and then it was gone. But when you were on the stream last week, I just clicked onto it again and it was active again. I went, fuck it, I went order it. So the order's still there.
Good. And hopefully they will ship it in a shipping box and not just stick the label on it and send it like they are apt to do.
Yeah, just 10,000 stickers like GameStop and greasy fingers all over it.
Well, there is a trick to that. I didn't do it on this, but there is a trick to making them put it in a shipping container. If it has the option to send it as a gift, check that option. They will always send it in a shipping container then. Little workarounds. Got to think. Yeah, that's right, Joneser. You got to think. And moving on around the round robin here, let's go to Sir Clifden. What's going on over there at Eternity and Ellipse? You got a show going on tomorrow night, I think, and maybe somebody may be guesting with you. I don't know.
Yeah, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, Joneser will be on, and we're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about Ozzy Osbourne, Pink Floyd, and maybe talk about some other artists that we've always grown up and loved. It's going to be an awesome show.
Absolutely, and I can't wait. And I was on last week's show where I showed off a small tiny portion of what I've got with Kiss here, and I think in my mind, and don't tell me otherwise if it's not true, but I think in my mind that I may have spurred this on just a little bit there to get Joneser to come on there and talk about that because of his. I told you, I said, he's got Ozzy tattooed on his freaking arm. You got to have him on the show when you do Ozzy.
Yeah, it's a stupid story how it happened too, so it's even better.
Shall we tell it here, or shall we wait and tell it on Clifton's show? Let's tell
I think I told it last week on Clifton's show.
You probably
no, you didn't.
Drunk. Yeah, he was drunk off his ass at the concert.
Oh,
yeah. Now, see, that's what's interesting about that is when you have the shady people doing tattoos at concerts like that, they don't give a shit if you're drunk or not. But if you go into the tattoo parlor, the real high dollar tattoo parlor,
kick you out.
They kick you smooth as fuck out. Because what happens is when you drink alcohol, it thins your blood, which means you bleed like a butthole while you're sitting on there while they're tattooing. And that happens, the ink runs right out with the fucking blood. So they have to tattoo you deep.
He did.
So I'm sure that guy put that needle down in your damn arm, didn't
he? Did. I didn't feel a damn thing, though. I was drunk as hell.
Yeah, Willie did. Yeah. And going on up to Joneser, what's going on there in Joneser land, man?
Just busy. Like I said, we got the big machine at work. I play drums in a band, so we've got all these new songs we're rehearsing. I'm trying to grow the comic book business, so I'm inventorying books, and it never stops. And I had to move my uncle out today. He got a leg amputated. It's like, man, the world never stops turning for Joneser, but I still keep smiling.
That's all we could do, man. We just keep on keeping on. I'm going to get my kicks in before the shit house goes up in flames.
Before the riot starts.
Have I ever told y'all the story about the burning of the shit house?
No.
It's an Army story. All right. I was in a National Guard unit. We were the 326 Chemical Company in Alabama. And when we had our 2-week go to the field shit every year. And we had our own portable shit houses. They're made out of wood and folded up. And you would have a pit in the ground underneath the shit house, and you put this thing together, just kind of put together real quick, you put it on top of the shithole there. And then towards the end of the week, the barrel that you had down there in the bottom of the shithole would get full of shit, right? So what you would do is you would take the shit house off the barrel, fold it back up, put it off to the side, and pour diesel down and all the shit, and then set it afire and burn it up. And we call that burning the shit house.
One way to solve it, I guess.
Yeah.
Blowing be damned.
Well, we got. Am I back?
You're back.
All right.
You're back.
The newbies were told to go burn the shit house. That's what they did. They literally burned our little shit houses up. They set the damn shit houses on fire. So we look over there and the whole little building is.
Man.
But I blame the first sergeant. I don't blame the two idiots.
Here's the thing, and I know this from supervising people at my work. You have to like outthink the biggest idiot you have working for you.
That's hard.
It's your responsibility to do that. So like when
that's
you
a job
tell them to do something, you're responsible for whatever dumbass thing they come up with, and you got to stop them before they do it.
Dig that latrine. Yeah. Well, who was it? It was either Will Rogers or it was Mark Twain. But it was one of those great geniuses who said, never argue with an idiot because they drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
That's pretty sound.
I've seen it happen.
Yes. And somebody who's got it in their mind that some idiocy that they believe is the truth can be shown the truth to their face and they will reject it, Jack.
Man, I like those flat earthers.
Wait. What do you mean? In the earth flat?
Yeah, of course it is. Riding around on elephants in a big disc.
And we're the center of everything and it all revolves around us too, right?
It all revolves around my ass. That's right.
No, it doesn't. It revolves around mine, damn it. That's why I cuss all the fucking drivers when I get on the interstate. Sons of bitches.
Everybody knows how to drive.
Get out of my way. Don't you know I'm going somewhere?
Nobody knows how to drive but you. You're one of those. Everybody's one of those.
My daughter says that she learned all the choice cuss words from me by driving in Memphis.
I bet.
Aggressive.
I learned in the city of San Diego. I learned in the city of San Diego, 8 lanes in the highway. Zoom, 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 zoom. Get out of my way.
What the hell is wrong with people, though? You know where your exit is. So why do you wait 8 lanes over here to go whoosh across all those lanes just to get in the damn?
Because they want to go fast. They want to zoom, zoom. Everybody's a NASCAR driver. They all need to be in first. If you're not in first, you're in last.
OBS has a pretty good point in her comment there, by the way.
If the earth was flat, the cat would have knocked everything out. That is a good point.
Can't argue with that.
No. No debate.
Johnny says, if you attach a cat to a piece of toast, it will create anti-gravity. I would think.
Toast always goes the wrong way down. Cats always land the right way up, so it just spins around.
Well, yeah. I thought about that. You strap the piece of toast butter side up to their back, and then you let them fall off of something, and will it land on the toast or their feet, or will they hover in the air? I don't see anybody try to find out with your cat for real, folks. Come on now. Sent you some pictures on Instagram there, Jones, are from Manic Plastic there. You guys are working on some sort of little deal there, I heard.
Sure. No, I'll get a chance to look at them, but I can't do it now. As if I close out this phone, then I'm gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'll check it and I'll get back to you. I did see I got an Instagram message from you.
Cool deal. And I sent you a link to a place on Etsy where you can get replacements for some of the stuff that you might be needing that are weird, like battery covers and shit like that. Did you get?
Oh
that?
yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're a good man, Charlie Brown. All right, so let's talk about the Snake Mountain. Are you guys excited about this? I'm lukewarm, but
Hell
we'll
yes.
see. Yeah, okay.
I never had a vintage one or nothing.
I'm pretty proud of my vintage one, but that snake on the new one's going to articulate.
And open it.
Open and closing mouth. It's going to articulate. You can move it around. One issue though, there is no paint deco on it.
Oh, I bet a crafty guy like you will fix that though, Bill.
Yes, a crafty guy like I can, but a crafty guy like I shouldn't have to. So what do you guys think about this new Snake Mountain? What is your favorite thing about it, and what is your gripe about it? We'll start with Johnny.
All right, I'll unmute because I was pulling this figure out and making noises.
Yeah, you're pulling something. Okay,
I was making those plastic noises.
Now, we love that sound around here.
Oh, I don't want to torture your ears. I'm excited about it because I didn't have, as a kid, I mean, I had probably 3 Transformers. I still have them now. That's why I looked up there from like 30 years ago. I had like one, I had the Battle Armor He-Man, the rotating disc in the chest. I had that one, Whiplash. And that was about it. When I was a kid, we were fairly poor, and figure like anything licensed would be a birthday or Christmas. The rest of the year, forget it. So I had like 2 masters ever. So I've loved the Origins line because it's stuff I didn't get. I played with other people's ones at their house after school, but I didn't get to own any of that stuff. Castles, play sets, forget it. Same with G.I. Joe or anything big vehicles. So I love the castles over there. I'm super excited for the Snake Mountain, even though traditionally it's a bit of a lackluster play set for the stupid positioning and things and being a redeco of another repurposed thing. But I think they've improved somewhat that you can actually stand things on it a bit better. And no doubt there'll be people 3D printing and adding their own things to it anyway. So
I had some images up here of some stuff, but I'm not going to hunt for it right now because it's going to be kind of hard to do that and run a show at the same time. But what he's talking about there, folks, is originally the playset that became Snake Mountain was going to be He-Man's a jungle adventure, because He-Man was originally a jungle man who came out of the jungle as a Tarzan-like figure. And if you want to see a picture of that play set, it is in the Motu book that Pixel Dan put out with all the pictures of the toys in it. And it would have been a nice play set to have. Didn't look like there was a lot of play value to it. It was just mainly a diorama. But the other part of the play set was going to be a evil version of the Dragon Walker that would have been called a Monster Walker. And the Monster Walker had the face on it of what you see on Snake Mountain. So you had that design added to the jungle playset, which was redecoed just slightly. And then there was a picture that was done of He-Man on the side of a mountain, purple mountain with chains on, and they added that idea into it as well. And I think Joneser talked about this with me at length at one point. In Castle Grayskull, all the good stuff was happening on the inside, and on Snake Mountain, all the good stuff was happening on the outside, because Snake Mountain's interior was rather bleak. But the new one, I think they're going to try to make that better for us. What do you think there, Clifton? Tell us all about it. Now, before you start, Clifton, I know you like to collect the Masterverse. Let us know if you're into the Origin as well, and do you have a Snake Mountain? And go, sir.
Yes, I do collect Origins. I have a little bit, but I also have vintage. So I have, of course, I have the vintage Snake Mountain. Honestly, I've got the Super 7 Classics Snake Mountain.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. So, you've already got a Bone Throne. So really, I don't see the point of spending $80. I mean,
why? I mean, I bet the Origins figures and the Masterverse figures work just fine in that play set.
Yeah. And of course, the Super 7, you get the table the war table where they all get around and get together.
Where he makes the evil plan.
Yeah, you got that too. So, I mean, really, I don't see the purpose in it. It does look nice, but like what John said, if you don't have vintage, this would be the way to go.
Absolutely. And I want to shout out my buddy there. Pope showed up.
Hey, Pope.
I like the Pope because the Pope is dope. He's here, and he is my buddy, and he's been one of the best supporters of my channel since day one. Thank you for being here, Pope. I love you, brother. I'm hoping you're having a good time. Glad to see you back with us. Going back to the accessories that you were talking about with the Snake Mountain. When I was on my quest for a vintage Snake Mountain, I had no Snake Mountain, but I did run across some customs of the Bone Throne and the war table that you were talking about. I have those. They're in origin size. I've got this Snake Mountain finally, and I started restoring it and getting it back up to speed. I have not replaced any stickers on it because the stickers were in grand shape. If I do want to do that, I know where to get them from Zach Paris over there on eBay. He's the best sticker man there is. And he's from Australia, by the way, there, Bat Fan John. So, Johnny Sorensen, if you want some sticker replacements, your man will get them to you a lot quicker than he gets them to me.
Can I ask on your restoration, are you going to do things like on your Grayskull where you did the wooden door so it looks like wood and the metal looks like metal? You do stuff like that?
I would love to do that. And yes, I probably will at some point after the Origin Snake Mountain gets here, and I can put that Origins on display over here in its place. What I have to do is, first of all, I have to remove all the stickers from the outside, the eyes. And then I have to decide if I want to keep the stickers on the inside the way they are, because I've got something brewing in my brain. Yes, it's a lot going on up there. You don't want to go up there. It's dark.
Some brain brew.
But yeah, I got to go out. I've got to prime it. I've got to figure out what color I want to prime it. I think I want to prime it a dark purple. And that way I can dry brush over that and let the dark stay in the crevices and the lights come out to the top. Mm-hmm. And I want to paint the vines in there so that you can see them all. And unless you have one of these, you can't really see it just by looking at pictures of it. But there's deco in there that you cannot see, like faces and things. They're in the plastic. And with a little bit of dry brush, you can see all of that deco come out and pop. And
you can see them on the Super 7 one.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I want to do. I've replaced the chains on the outside with 3D printed real chain, plastic chains. And unfortunately, our new Grayskull is going to have chains that are more like the old kind of chains instead of this. If they can put chains in Ninja's nunchucks, why the hell can't they put chains on Snake Mountain? But that's my gripe. And, of course, I'm sitting here running my mouth when I should be asking Joneser's thoughts on this. Go, Joneser.
Well, I bought a vintage Snake Mountain, and much like you, I did a restoration. Mine was basically junk. It was more dust on it than freaking I even care to admit. And the only thing it had going for it was the microphone worked. I mean, everything else on it was crap. I replaced all the parts one at a time, and I probably spent more than I would have spent had I just bought one that had all the crap to begin with, but then I wouldn't have got the joy of replacing it. But the reason I did it such is I didn't think Origins was going to make a Snake Mountain. If I would have thought that, I probably would have just waited for that, and that would have been my Snake Mountain, and I'd have spent a lot less money. But it is what it is. I did order one because the vintage stuff I'd really just have up for looking at. The Origin stuff, me and Lyric dig out and play with. And so that's what we're going to do is we'll dink around with the Origins one and make little father-son battles and have a grand old time. And then the vintage one can just stay right where it is and be fine. And yeah, Bill touched on, my favorite observation about Castle Grayskull Snake Mountain is Castle Grayskull, the party's on the inside, whereas Snake Mountain, the party's on the outside. And then the vintage one, especially the inside, really didn't have a lot to it except for a net and some stickers.
Right.
And the microphone, so you could, I am the Lord of Snake Mountain, you know, which was always so fun to do. But yeah, that's how I justified buying one, is me and Lyric want to play with it.
Cool. And I agree with you. The Origins play sets are mobile. That's a word. Because I may wig here. This is telling me that I'm getting one low bar here, so just bear with me, folks, if I do. But the vintage play sets, that plastic, I don't remember it being that brittle as a kid, but as it aged, it gets a little bit of brittle to it, and the hinges or the little pieces that hold it to the hinge tend to break off. And this vintage Grayskull I have over here, the top two hinges are broke off on it. I don't know. You never can see it in the pictures that I do of it. It's not something that you would see, but it's something that I'm aware of on there. Whereas the way they've designed these new sets, it's a lot easier. The plastic seems to be a little more durable, and it gives just a little bit so that it's not so brittle. And to answer Pope's question, do the replacement stickers that we buy from Zach Paris match the old stuff pretty good? They match the old stuff absolutely if you buy them from Zach Paris. And do not buy them from these other people on eBay that are taking Zach Paris's scans and bootlegging them off of him. Because Zach actually die cuts his. So you don't have to get the hobby knife out and try to cut around the sticker and get it the right size. It's die cut just like it was on the old one. You peel it off and you stick it on just like you do the old one. It's worth the extra shipping from Australia just for that, in my opinion. He does change the stickers for the better in some parts. For instance, Zach Paris's Snake Mountain replacement stickers on the inside, vintage, like where the slime pit is, that was two stickers that you had to you put one down and then you try to line the other one up to meet it. You know what I'm talking about there, Jones?
I do.
That does away with that, and it makes it one sticker that you put in there.
No, I bought the exact same set you're talking about. And that's what I used to replace on mine, because my stickers were crap, and anything that was left of them needed to be scraped off and forgotten about.
Right. Now, if you're wanting to have a display piece to put on display and you want it to look as pristine as possible, and you're not above putting replacement parts on there, like I'm not above that. I want mine to look even better than the original one would look. I'm sitting here customizing and painting the damn thing. For instance, there's nothing wrong with replacement stickers in that regard. If your stickers are for shit, they look like crap, and they need to be scraped off of there and replaced, do it so it looks decent. No problem. If your stickers are in decent shape and your piece is in decent shape, and you want an awesome vintage piece, don't do it. But otherwise, man, there's nothing wrong with that. And of course, if you sell it, then you sell it with the buyer knowing full well that it's got replacement stickers on it.
Yep, I always full disclosure any Motu I sell if it has a repro piece or if the leg bands have been replaced. If it's not all original, I always try to disclose. I think
absolutely
that's responsible thing to do.
Nothing wrong with selling it as long as you got full disclosure. Nothing wrong with that at all. And just so you guys that aren't really toy collectors but just like to watch the show and see us sit here and go on and on about our toys, like the what is it, the kidults? Is that the new word that they were using to disparage us?
Man, child.
I'll take that any day. Man, child, kidult, whatever.
Been a lot more fun with adult money anyway.
It really is. He who dies with the most toys wins. And here we go. I'm going to show this Snake Mountain commercial and pay special attention to the weirdo kids that are in it. I love these things.
WMC TV, Channel 5, Memphis.
Is Snake Mountain ready to take on He-Man? Anytime!
Snake Mountain battle armor He-Man and Skeletor each sold separately. You put the mountain together. Batteries not included.
Is your serpent ready to strike? Yes! Come, He-Man! Welcome to Snake Mountain. If you dare.
Snake Mountain with Echo Microphone, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. Action figures each sold separately from Mattel.
Climb up here, go across this rickety bridge, come all the way up to this door that goes to nowhere and fall into the slime pit.
You know, when I was a kid, I had I don't know if it was a 50-piece or 100-piece jigsaw puzzle. And the picture on the puzzle was Skeletor and He-Man sword fighting on that bridge in that Snake Mountain. And I loved it. And I must have put that puzzle together about 1,000 million times as a kid. Because and to this day, when we play with our stuff, the first thing I do is I try to put He-Man and Skeletor in that same, because in my mind, they're battling in that sword fight forever.
Right.
Right in that spot.
Now I don't know how wide the bridge is going to be on our origin Snake Mountain, but hopefully they can actually walk across it without having to go sideways.
That's how the sword fight is.
I'm coming up there to get you, Skeletor.
Now, what I do
Hold on, I gotta go side to side.
What I do know is that they have extended the walkways, the little stairways out a little bit, and they've actually made the steps so that the figures can actually walk up the steps.
Well, they put a peg hole too, so you can
Foot pegs. There's foot pegs on there, so you can pose the figures on it. Absolutely. And Screw Your Feelings says he's glad his mic works for his Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
And if you have a Snake Mountain and your mic isn't working, it probably will work, but you might have to do a little bit of repair on it. I suggest Toy Polloy for that. I think he does a repair on his and shows you how to get it back to working. Okay, thank you. I don't have Instagram open on the computer right now, and I'm not going to reach for my phone, but I will answer you back as soon as this show is over with, I promise. Was there ever a skeleton figure with a cloth hood, or has it always been hard plastic on his head? Are you talking about Skeletor?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a cloth hood that I'm aware of.
No. Skeletor has always been a molded head in vintage. The closest thing we ever got to an unhooded Skeletor, I guess, would be the head off of Scareglow, maybe.
Yeah.
Who was the ghost of Skeletor, or he was Skeletor's minion who happened to be a ghost. I don't know how that works. What do you think?
I think option B was what they meant, but I think a lot of people thought, the other way.
Hey, Zazel in the house. Howdy, Legends. Takes one to know one. Good to see you there, Zazel. Glad you popped in to say howdy to us.
He's put up an Undertaker video this morning.
He did. He did. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet because I've been very busy today doing YouTube creator shit. And you may not know this, Johnny, but these other two guys know that when you become a creator, being able to, there you go, man, love it. When you become a creator, all the shit that you love to do as a watcher tends to get put on the wayside so you can create content. Sucks.
That is hard. It's hard for me to keep up with other people's channels. I like to support those who are constantly in my comments, and it does feel hard to keep up with everybody.
Which reminds me, when this video is over, a comment section will open up at the bottom of the video. Everybody, when you get a chance, you don't have to rewatch the video over again if you don't want to, but I'd appreciate those viewing hours if you did. But go down to that comment section and fill it up with all kinds of comments. Great show, Bill. You suck, Bill. I hate you, Bill. I love you, Bill. Anything, I watched your show. Whatever you want to say.
That show needed some Macho Man, Bill.
There we go.
I'm gonna tell you
Jay Lawler, I hate you, Jay Lawler. I'm gonna come and get you, Lawler.
When I was a kid, I hated Macho Man with a passion. As I got older, I realized I loved him.
I thought,
cream of the crop into it.
When Macho Man first showed up on Championship Wrestling and came out there live in Memphis, Tennessee, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And then every time he cut a promo, he would strain every muscle in his head until the veins would pop out in it. And I thought he was going to bust a blood vessel in his head. I really did. I was waiting for it. Every time he'd come on, I'd be on like, he's going to do it this time. He's going to bust a blood vessel.
Well, there's something that classic wrestling had, especially him and other characters like him, that modern doesn't have, and that's believability. When I watched him, whether you believed it was real or not, that man means what he's saying. You know, he came off as authentic. You believed he meant it.
Yeah.
When he took off his clothes, I hate you. I believed him.
Oh, I thought it was absolutely real when he came out there. Now I'll tell you a real true story, and we talked about this, Johnny Sorensen, a little bit over there at the hangout tonight.
Yeah.
This is a true story. Nick Gullis run an operation out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he owned the state of Tennessee at that time when it came to the promotions in the area. Well, a fellow by the name of Jerry Jarrett started an upstart little promotion called Continental Wrestling Association in Memphis, Tennessee, and Gullis didn't like it a damn bit. And he sent the Poffo brothers, that'd be Lanny Poffo and Randy, otherwise known as Randy Savage, over to beat Jerry Jarrett's ass and to break his arms to give him a message that he needed to cut that shit out. That's an absolute true story. I don't know if you knew that or not. Sir Clifton's sitting there nodding. He's heard this one before.
Yeah. And for those that don't know about Lanny, back in the old WWF days, there was a guy that would come out in a red robe, had white strips, and then he had like a college hat. It was called the Genius.
Yes.
That's Macho Man's brother. And may he rest in peace.
And he would do poetry and whatnot.
Yep.
He had a
He
poem.
wrote that shit himself.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, he just passed too, not too long ago. Too.
Yeah.
He was also Leaping Lanny.
Leaping Lanny Poffo. Absolutely. That's how I knew him on Memphis Wrestling as Leaping Lanny Poffo. But yeah, that was we did back in the day, we didn't know they were related, but we do now.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know Randy Savage had a real name. I thought that was his name.
Yeah, I did too. Of course, I've probably told this story a million times, but Sir Clifton may not have heard this. Do you know how I had my heart broken when I was a kid? Well, there was a feud going on between the Fabulous Ones and the Sheep Herders. The New Zealand sheep herders had come into town to get rid of those Fabulous Ones, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. And this feud went on and on and on. And these sheep herders were huge, nasty sons of bitches. And they would come out and they would sing Waltz and Matilda and wave that New Zealand flag. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Better known as the Bushwhackers when they got to WWE or F or whatever it was then. But anyway, yeah, this feud went on and on and on. Well, they were coming to the Civic Auditorium in Clarksdale, Mississippi for a house show. And the Fabulous Ones were going to be there. Sheep herders were going to be there. And me and my brother had to be there to see this. And so we're watching the show, and the sheep herders are beating the fuck out of Stan Lane and Steve Kern because the blow-off is not going to happen for a while. And I looked at Anthony, and he looked at me, and he goes, "Did you see the limousine parked out behind? That's the Fabulous Ones limousine. We've got to get out there and hang around that limousine after the show's over with, so when they run out, we can get their autograph." So a little bit before the blow off end of the show that night, we got out there to the back side of the auditorium where that limousine was, right next to the stage door, so we could scope it out, waiting for the Fabulous Ones to run out so we could waylay them and get that autograph. Just as the door flew open and the Fabulous Ones came running out, the limousine door opened up and the freaking sheep herders were in there going, "Get in, man, get in, hurry."
Wow. Oh.
I'm like, and I looked at Anthony, and Anthony goes, "It's not real."
Oh, man.
Oh, it was a heartbreaker, man. It was a heartbreaker. Let's see. This is what they did during the territory days. Promoters did not like or felt you or disrespected them. You would know. Yeah, the territory days were it was almost like mafia.
Yeah.
You know, the business was a little more protected back then. They didn't do these little tell-all documentaries. Told you everything of what they were doing. You know, nowadays it's hard to suspend your disbelief and watch it.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura did call him the marching morons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ouch. Yeah, we were all disappointed when we found out. Thus endeth the innocence. Yeah, it was a sad deal. And of course, for years and years and years, I thought that the bad blood between Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman was real. They kayfabed that for a long time. Even
Boy, did all that Letterman segment.
Way after it.
Gets
Yeah,
up and
that
just
Letterman
slaps
segment was great. If I didn't think that they would nuke my channel, I'd play it right now. But they would. We've already found out that it doesn't take much to trip YouTube's little
boy, it sure didn't.
Thing. Go ahead, Clifton.
No, I'm just saying, you know, it sure doesn't. When you play something and they cut you off, I've already had one video happen like that.
Oh, really? Did they Shogun assassin your ass like they did me that night?
No, the show kept on, but I just got flagged for copyright.
Well, be careful because don't get scared by that. When you get an ID content flag, it does not cause your channel to get a copyright strike. All it does is say you've got this music in here that doesn't belong to you, so you can't monetize it. Well, you're in the same position I am. We can't monetize anyway. And even if we were monetized, what we do is we beg for money through some other source like I do.
Right.
And that way, you know, you can get around it. Tips help, folks.
The video that it was, and perfectly fits this conversation anyway. Me and Emerald Knight Photos is going to be doing pay-per-view shows. So the Backlash pay-per-view is going to be, I want to say the 6th or 7th, whatever the Saturday is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have the Backlash pay-per-view. So we'll be doing a show then. We ended up doing the results of WrestleMania Night 2. And what I did was, instead of just going through and just saying in my own words what Triple H said in his press conference,
you showed it.
I just let the man say it himself.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and
they got you.
That's what got me. And
WWE is a little tougher than some people are. They will get your ass a lot quicker. They're kind of Toho-ish when it comes to that. I did a video years and years ago. I had it privated for a long time because of that, because it scared me a little bit. But now that I've gotten a little wiser, I don't give a damn. It's up there. I've got a video showcasing my Raw WWE action figures and the playset that I had built at that time. And what I did was I started it out like a Raw show was starting. And at the very beginning, you know, back in the Attitude Era, it would go the then, now, forever, you know.
Yeah.
And they would play those clips in the background. And one of the clips, I clipped that out and I put a different clip in. And it was that classic interview with Harlem Heat and Sherry, where Booker T says that ugly little word that we can't say out loud. And I put that in there. And then, of course, it started out with the Raw introduction, just like you would be watching Raw back in the day, you know. And was that absolutely wonderful music by Nickelback. But anyway, yeah, I like Nickelback, so fuck you. But anyway, it segged into, instead of an actual wrestling program, the action figures in the wrestling ring and showing off the play set and everything.
Right.
Boy, WWE didn't like that worth a goddamn. Boy, they got my ass, demonetized me because I wasn't monetized anyway, and then fixed it where I couldn't play it in Saudi Arabia like I give a damn.
Yeah.
But back in the day, though, that kind of shit scared me. I didn't know. I private that shit real quick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But, yeah, it's back up there. Go look in my back catalog. You can watch that.
See, and I have a hard time getting into the current product. I'd seen Clifden was covering WrestleMania, and I actually watched some of it because I have Paramount or whatever it's on now, or I can't remember what it's on. Peacock, there you go. And so I actually was watching some of it, and it's just like I don't really know what's going on anymore. I don't know who anybody is. And then some like old Hall of Famer will walk out and be like, "Hey, I know that guy."
Right.
I'm excited about that, but it's hard for me to watch the product anymore. I mean, to me, I don't know if I've just become Jim Cornette and I'm that cranky old guy that hates modern wrestling, or what happened to me.
Oh, I love Corny. I love it when he gets on a fucking tear too, boy. When he gets to ranting, boy, it's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I'll tell you what.
He means it too.
He does.
I love it when he's talking about AEW and he pulls out a Twinkle Toes, which is Kenny Omega. That cracks me up so much. He said, "Well, then you got that damn Twinkle Toes coming out."
Kenny Omega.
I think I can get away with showing this because I showed it last week and it didn't get me. It was the actual content that got me. But when I would see this on a Saturday morning, I knew that I was going to see some fucking real shit. Here we go.
Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside, and by golly, we are ready.
Golly, we are ready. Lance Russell, boy, he was the absolute best announcer in the world. And Dave Brown, and I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again for those of you who may not have heard it before. That show, Studio Wrestling, Jarrett's promotion, Continental Wrestling Association, played live every Saturday. And it was basically a build-up to the Mid-South Coliseum show and the Louisville show that would play at the Louisville Gardens. Because on Monday night, they played the Mid-South Coliseum, and then they would all go to Louisville, Kentucky, and do the very same show at the Louisville Gardens. But we didn't know that. And they actually filmed this in the studio at Channel 5, and then they would recut the intersection segments so that it looked like it was playing live in Louisville, Kentucky, and they would show it the next week in Louisville, Kentucky. Same show. And then they syndicated it years later, and people in Greenville, South Carolina, they got to see it. And they thought that it was live studio wrestling in their area when actually it was taped. But we saw it live on Channel 5. And it started out on Channel 13. And Lance Russell and Dave Brown were on Channel 13. And Dave Brown was also the head meteorologist and the weatherman on Channel 13. Well, Jarrett's promotion got with Channel 5, the NBC affiliate, and 13 was the ABC affiliate. And they worked out a deal so that Championship Wrestling would move over to Channel 5. And the whole show moved. It was the exact same show, the opening and everything. And Lance Russell came with the package. Channel 5 said, well, we can't have wrestling without Dave Brown, too, because Dave Brown's an excellent announcer. Well, you can't have Dave Brown. He's the weatherman over at Channel 13, and they won't let him be on the competition station. They hired Dave Brown to be their head meteorologist, and Dave Brown moved over with the wrestling.
Awesome.
That's a true story, Jack.
Wow.
That is a true story. Jennifer Poe, I know who that is. Says, I'm so late, but I'm here. Allergy meds kicked my butt. Well, if you need to go to bed, baby, you go to bed. We understand. Just
Go to bed.
Be sure to hit the like button on your way out.
I bet she heard me.
Yeah. What is that?
I'll probably hear about it.
Is that the way that's pronounced? I can't pronounce that, but yes, that's from 2001: Space Odyssey. But yeah, they play that, and one of these days I'll get the version that they did for the USWA back when Jerry Lawler was running the show over there. It started out with that, and then it segged into something a little more modern for the time. But yeah, it's kind of cool. We've gone off on a tear on wrestling, and we're an hour and a half in, and this show ain't nowhere near being over. I heard you loudmouth, but I'm awake now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, you are, but you know what? Just like a bowl of beans, this too shall pass.
Yep.
One of the things that we've been taught our whole lives is the dangers of strangers. And I have a little thing that we're going to watch today to help us with that, especially you guys that don't know about stranger danger. Joneser, do you know about stranger danger?
Bro, I grew up in a city. We dodged homeless and handicapped and kidnapping and prostitutes daily.
Well,
oh,
them panel vans that say free candy on the outside that are spray paint and stuff. No matter how totally legit that looks, you need to stay the hell away from. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying.
I wasn't stupid. I knew the trick. Give me the candy first, then I'll get in the van.
There, yeah. Cross my palm with candy.
It's like, you want to know Jones's old neighborhood? Just watch Taxi Driver.
There you go.
I used to like that guy called Mankind. That'd be Mick Foley. I think he was a WWF though. Crazy. He did some crazy stuff. Mankind was an absolute fool. And a lot of what he did was
tooth up his nose.
It was real, man. Yeah, his tooth went up through his nose when he fell off that cage for real. They thought he was dead. Undertaker killed the man.
I remember watching that when it happened. We at that pay-per-view. It was King of the Ring, 98. We were sitting there having a couple beers, watching the thing. And when he went through that, everybody spitting beer. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was before the ECW. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was the original holy shit. I was like,
no, you want to see insanity? You want to see total fucking insanity? There was a Japanese match between Terry Funk and Mick Foley. They took the ring ropes off the ring and replaced them with barbed wire. They had a little these little tripwire explodey things in the ring that would blow up, thumbtacks everywhere, barbed wire bats, the whole board with nails sticking out of it. You name it. These guys had
King of the Death Match is what it's called.
They sat there and they did nothing but beat the living shit out of each other. How long? 30 fucking minutes, an hour? That they sat there and they brutalized.
It was a tournament. It was a tournament. So like Terry went through a couple guys and Mick went through a couple guys. They were the final. So they were all ripped up before they even got to touch each other.
And at the very end of that, they loaded their ass up in the ambulance and carted them off to the fucking emergency room. That was real too.
There's a great interview of Cactus Jack at the end of that while he's all covered in blood and he's half crying, talking about what Terry Funk means to him. And it gives you chills if you listen to it.
Yeah, that damn Terry Funk, he was a mean sucker. And and people love hardcore, but dude, I'm telling everybody right now, he was hardcore before it ever became famous.
Right.
He was.
Yeah, he was hardcore before it was cool.
You'd be like, eyes like mine right now, just big, after seeing some of this. Oh, my God. That dude was a mean dude.
Absolutely, he was. And Mick Foley started out backyard wrestling, jumping off the top of his house onto a fucking mattress and all that stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about this with OBS. Fake. All right, if it wasn't for athletics, but they did cut themselves. Yeah, they cut themselves with razor blades, is what they did, and they did cut themselves from the chair. No, the chairs didn't cut them. If you do a chair shot right, yeah, the chair actually hits you, bam. But you hit with the flat side of the chair and not the other side with all the cutty stuff on it. Which reminds me of a story. There was a friend of mine who actually did a little bit of independent wrestling here in the area and did work for Continental Wrestling, USWF, and all that shit. And they were doing an indie show, and they had a jobber out there that wasn't very experienced, and he hit somebody with the wrong hook out in the ring. So yeah, there's some shit that happens, but when they were going to show some color and they wanted to bleed in the match, they would pre-cut themselves. They'd take that razor blade and they'd come right across the top of their forehead with it. And it wouldn't bleed, and because they put some Vaseline across it, so it wouldn't bleed. And then when they got out there in the ring, you didn't take a hard knock. You just hit that cut enough to bust it open, and then blood would just pour out down their fucking face until it caked their whole face up. It looked horrible.
Yeah. Well, Bill, they actually had two ways to do that. The razor blade was the one to guarantee it happened, and they had another more old-fashioned traditional way, and they called it the hard way, where they just hit you till it happened.
Yeah,
they would just go get it.
Yeah, and that was the usually reserved for those who needed punishment of some sort.
Like,
and yes, that did happen.
Mixed eyebrow with like a downward punch in some of those matches.
There were guys that were pros at it. You could do it in a couple swipes, you know.
Mm.
But I will tell you this. For those of you who want to be wrestlers and maybe want to get in the ring with somebody like, say, I don't know, New Jack, don't ask him to blade you. You blade yourself, Jack. Do not get New Jack to blade you. Somebody just gave me a tip. Jennifer Poe, thank you so much for that $5.
Wow.
It will go into the Buy Bill a New Modem Fund. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Appreciate that. And yes, if you don't know why, look up Mass Transit Incident on YouTube, and you can watch all the gory details of that. It was horrible. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
New Jack was notorious for doing shit like that. He stabbed a man multiple times in the ring. That's on YouTube too, if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
By the way, those guys don't get community guideline strikes. But if I showed that shit,
yeah.
And the other incident was the Gypsy Joe incident that happened in around Nashville, Tennessee, where Gypsy Joe was not selling. That was Gypsy Joe's thing, though. Suicide by New Jack. Yeah, well, he throwed a guy off the top of a scaffold one time and aimed him at the ring post, trying to kill him.
Yeah. No, they covered all this on a little program called Dark Side of the Ring, and there's a New Jack episode. I highly recommend Dark Side.
Look, New Jack is sociopathic or something, because he has no remorse for any of this shit that he did. None whatsoever.
So they just modeled the Terminator on him there.
Bad motherfucker.
It was nothing.
Well, and we watched New Jack because we knew that. We were waiting for these things to happen whenever he would come out to the ring. Don't lie, tell the truth, Joneser.
Mm.
Yeah, New Jack was one of those characters where you knew, like, I seen him even back when he was in what was it, Cornette territory,
Smoky
Mountain, and they were the
Cornette told them, he said, just go out there and piss off the white people.
Yeah. And that was my introduction to him, which was the pre-ECW, and this dude was crazy.
Did you see the one where they had pissed off the NAACP?
Yeah.
And they came out and they cut that promo.
The one that I'll never is when he said, OJ, one down, the whole rest of them to go. I was like, whoa.
Golly.
Whoa.
They didn't give a shit. Look.
I'm going to have to find that.
I'm going to tell you guys, okay. Yes, it was a different time. Okay, it was a very, very different time. These guys knew what they were doing. They were doing this shit on purpose, and the purpose was to get heat, not go away heat, with the good heat, the heat you want, the crowd to hate you because they love to hate you heat. I remember there was a wrestler called Sweet Brown Sugar. Do you know who Sweet Brown Sugar was? Coco Ware, the Birdman. That's what his name was at the time, and he was a member of the First Family.
Wow.
And of course, if you know the how the First Family would work, you would become a member of the First Family. Jimmy Hart would be your manager. Then you would be thrown to Jerry Lawler to get your ass whooped. And then after that would happen so long, Jimmy Hart would begin to disfavor you at that point, and then you would end up either fired by Jimmy Hart or hating Jimmy Hart and doing a heel face turn. Okay.
Wow.
So Coco Ware had done this. He finally had enough of Jimmy Hart acting like Skeletor with him and abusing him, and he had done this heel face turn, and Jimmy Hart came out and cut a promo on him, and it's on YouTube somewhere. We won't be able to watch it today because we want to keep our channel copyright strike free tonight. But anyway, he told Sweet Brown Sugar, he said, if you want to come back in to the First Family, you have to come out here and shine my shoes, baby. And he had his shoes in his hand. And then he made a joke. Now, look, I don't condone this by any means, people. Susan or whoever it is taking over YouTube. This is not me talking. I'm doing a commentary about something that happened a long, long time ago. That out of the way. The next thing he did was he made this little joke. And at the time, we thought it was hilarious, kids. Okay, he said he was low rating there on Sweet Brown Sugar. Okay, so he was talking about how Sweet Brown Sugar was from the ghetto and blah 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 blah, and then he said, "Do you know what a ghetto fortune cookie is, Lance?" Like talking to Lance Russell. Do you know what a ghetto fortune cookie is, there, Sir Clifden?
Go ahead. Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
It's a pan of cornbread with a food stamp in it. They did shit like that.
We did that.
They did shit like that back in those days, and it was highly racist.
Well, and it was meant to get heat, but like we're looking back on it in today's eyes, like especially that New Jack one where he's trying to make people mad, and then he's got people calling him N-word, and they're wearing Confederate flag T-shirts and shaking their fist at him, and it's like they're getting the wrong kind of heat, maybe, but they're getting heat, you know.
One of the funniest things that I remember was in. It was in the WWE. What was his name? God, I know his name. He's the black wrestler that's funny as hell. You know what I'm talking about. He always had this imaginary child called Little Johnny that he always in his head. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. It's Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy, that's it. It was Little Jimmy.
Oh, R-Truth.
R-Truth, that's it. R-Truth. R-Truth came out one time. Vince McMahon was in the ring. Somebody else was in the ring. R-Truth came out in a full Confederate uniform, flying a Confederate flag in his hand. You remember that?
I wasn't even that long. I do, but I
that happened
on WWE probably. Well, no, they probably cut that out.
It's been on YouTube. It's on YouTube somewhere. At least that's where I saw it. But I got on an R-Truth kick one time because he's funny as hell.
He is, dude. He's doing a little Jimmy.
One time he came out and he was smoking cigarettes in the ring. And
I remember that.
You can hear some woman in the crowd, think of the children. When Clifden comes in here later trying his wrestling moves, somebody may be prepared to take him in for the night. This man loves to reenact everything he sees or hears. She telling on you, Jack.
Now let me tell you something, brother. When I get in there, I'm going to put these 24-inch pythons right on you. What you going to do? Sweet. For life, brother.
Oh, I've got to do a video because I told everybody the other week that I've been looking for the rest of the NWO or
You better get out of here, brother.
I've got them on the way coming. I've got my Scott Hall, I've got my Kevin Nash, NWO WWE Superstars figures coming to go with Hulk Hogan. So we're going to hear some Voodoo Child. We're going to hear some NWO, and they're going to come out.
New world order.
You got it, man. They're going to come out and take the fuck over Grayskull, kick He-Man and Skeletor out.
See,
all we need is a Bischoff figure to go with them. Wouldn't that be awesome to have a freaking Bischoff figure? Now, look, in my mind, I don't want Bischoff. The Bischoff figure doesn't need to have any muscles. It needs to have like straight arms with no muscles on it. And what you need is like the a hair piece of black, and you can pull that off, and then there's white underneath there, so you can have his head shaved and you can see his white roots. That'd be awesome. Come on.
See, growing up over at the Joneser house, my family was a boxing family. So my granddad was big boxing fan. My parents, my uncles, everybody. So I liked the wrestling. My grandfather liked it too. But my uncles were real quick to tell little Joneser, that's all baloney.
Yeah, that's fake. That's fake. Boxing's real. Boxing's real because it's not run by the mafia or anything. None of this shit's
right.
None of this shit's fixed in boxing.
I would throw that one at him later when I was smarter,
Well, I think that's out here too. Howard Cosell. There was some match where the guy was throwing the match, and Howard Cosell just goes, "Oh, the fix is in, folks. The fix is in." You remember that?
Yeah. I think it was the List in Ali too.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ. We're stuck on wrestling over here. We need to get over here and find out about these goddamn strangers that are coming around that we need to worry about. Oh, the Royal Rumble. Complete Anthology, Volume 1. Let me get you up there. I want to put you on the big screen here so everybody can see that, Johnny. Was that 1988 to 1992? Is that what that said?
Yeah, I've got volumes 1 to 3, and I've got number 4 on the way. I've watched nearly all of them in like a week.
Are they full shows, or are they just matches here?
Full, no, full thing, like about 3 hours each or whatever.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's
all the preliminary matches before.
Yeah, all the matches, and so it's a full disc like that's. It's like 5 disc sets or so.
So
in
that
each
one
one.
more time for the viewers there, buddy.
I say it's got 5 disc sets.
Okay, all right. Show it's got liner notes and all that shit in it. Show it off.
No, it doesn't have that in these ones. In the slipcover cardboard ones, you get those. This one's just a combo pack.
All right, I got you.
And you get the thing on the back.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, that how much did that cost? If you don't mind me asking.
About $30 each Australian, like second hand.
Okay, and you can go to Google people and convert that. I'm not going to do that for you.
About 20 American.
There you go. Let's see.
For some reason, the WrestleManias cost a goddamn fortune to buy any of those anthology sets.
That's cool, man.
All right. The SummerSlams are cheap. I'm going to get those.
SummerSlam, yeah. I got into buying videos of that stuff, but I don't know. I nothing new I want to buy. I don't want to pay for what.
I just buy the classic stuff, and what's cheap, I won't overpay for nothing.
And I like going back when Steve Austin, Stone Cold, would come out to the ring and drink beer and flip everybody off. And
I've got about 3 different Austin best of ones. So, one's like all the story bits, like where he hoses down the ring with the beer truck, and other ones are the matches.
There was for a long time, and I don't know if they were doing this on purpose, whether they meant to harm anybody by doing this, or if it was all a work. But I have a feeling it was all a work. But Scott Hall was a notorious alcoholic. I mean, an alcoholic. And every time Stone Cold would beat his ass in the ring, he would pour beer all over him.
Hey yo.
And then yeah, yo.
Yo, Chico.
Razor Ramon. That's hilarious. All right, strangers. This is a two-parter because it was longer than 10 minutes. But we'll start with part one. I am not going to let us over talk it this time because the last time I did that, you really couldn't hear us over talking it.
Yeah, it was real quiet.
It's all going to be in comments, but feel free to eviscerate this thing. Let's go.
Hello there. I'm Joe Casalino, the Undersheriff of Sonoma County. The picture which you are about to see was filmed in Santa Rosa, and it is being shown to you so that you may become better acquainted with a serious problem which law enforcement is faced with today. Every year throughout the United States, hundreds of children, both boys and girls, have become victims of child molesters, which I shall refer to as strangers. There are many things that you can do to help yourselves from becoming victims. First of all, do not play in deserted places by yourselves. Do not accept money, candy, or gifts from strangers. Do not play around or go into isolated restrooms by yourselves. When in a theater, if an adult sits next to you and bothers you in any way, get up and tell the manager. Do not hitchhike rides. The person that picks you up could be dangerous. Now let's watch the picture and see what can happen if you are careless and accept a ride with a stranger. We'll see you after the picture.
But she only had one little rooster. His name was Roosty. Mother hen's little chickens grew round and fat. They had feathers all over them. Isn't that funny, Rennie?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, it's your bedtime.
Do I tea, Mom? Do I have to?
Yes, you do. It's getting late.
When will Daddy be home?
Well, he called early this evening and said he wouldn't be home until late.
Can I go to Judy's party tomorrow afternoon?
Well, I'll see that you get there. Okay, honey, off to bed. Okay, honey, I'll be there in a minute. Good night, honey.
Good night, Mommy.
Sweet dreams. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Well, let's finish up our milk. Getting late. Time for school. Get your jacket, honey. You've come straight home from school today. This is Judy's party.
Okay.
Don't forget, straight home. We'll go to the party. Bye, sweetie. Have a nice day.
Okay, bye, Mother.
Bye-bye now.
Hello, girl.
No.
Would you like a pretty little dolly like this?
No, thank you.
Are you on your way to school?
Yes.
Well, if you let me take you to school, I'll give you this pretty little dolly.
Okay.
All right, darling. Come on. There you go. There we are. There's your little dolly. Come on over here by me. Come on. There we go.
She is softly late. I wonder what's keeping Rennie. Darling. Half an hour late. Mrs. Cabello, room 4, please. Mrs. Cabello, is Rennie still there? She hasn't been to school. Not all day. She left home at the right time this morning. I wonder what could have happened. Well, I'll call the sheriff's office. Thank you. Thank you very much. Operator, would you get me the sheriff's department, please? Hello. This is Miss Cummins at 2029 Siesta Lane. My daughter, Rennie, didn't arrive at school today. I'm sure there's something wrong. Would you send a deputy out to the house? Oh, yes. Hurry up, please. I know there's something wrong. All right. Thank you.
I'll go get the missing persons report. You check the neighbors, see if they saw anything. Okay.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with the helmet, man? Why's he got a helmet on? Is he retarded? And of course, you know that was probably 3 hours later that he actually showed up. I mean, they'll never get there fast.
What's that? Your kid's dead? Oh, well.
Yeah, really. All right. So we're left on a cliffhanger here. We don't know what happened to the child. Mom's been hitting that box wine, and and OBS said it best. That was awful calm of her.
Yeah.
No emotion whatsoever in this. I
goes
think
missing every day.
I think by actually reading the credits that showed up at the beginning, I think that old woman that looks too old to be that child's mother is actually the wife of the sheriff that you saw at the beginning. And perhaps maybe the child is not really her daughter. That's actually her grandchild that she's raising as her daughter, because her real daughter had that child illegitimately. These things happened in the 50s. Let's move on and find out what the conclusion of tonight's sordid tale is.
My little girl Rennie left the school this morning, and she never got there. I called the school, and they haven't seen her all day, and I'm so worried. I just know something's happened to her. It's just not like her to do anything like this, and I'm so worried.
Can you give me a physical description of your daughter?
Well, she's 8 years old. She's a little over 4 foot tall. She has bright red hair and blue eyes. And she was wearing a checkered gingham dress. And I think today she had on black shoes. But I am so concerned. I know something must have happened.
Well, Miss Cummings, we'll put this description of the child out on the air right away, and we'll start looking for her.
Oh, I wish you would. I just know something's wrong.
Well, we'll let you know just as soon as we find out anything, or if we find anything, we'll contact you right away.
All right, and thanks an awful lot.
All right, you bet.
I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Find out anything?
Yeah, the lady a couple of doors down saw a little girl get into a pink four-door sedan this morning with some guy driving. That's all she could tell me.
That lady in there is sure upset. We better start checking the areas that we can find.
We might come up with something.
Want me to call an ambulance?
No, you won't need an ambulance. You'll have to call the coroner. This girl is dead. She fits the description of the missing Cummings girl. You better notify her parents, and I'll stay here and wait for the coroner.
Okay.
Oh, hello there. Did you come in?
Miss Cummings, are these your daughter's books?
Yes, they're Rennie's books. Where did you find them?
Well, I hate to be the one to break this type of news to you, but we found a child matching your daughter's description in the park, and she's dead.
Oh, no. No, no, no. Mommy, what's the matter, Mommy? Mommy. Oh, really? I was having a bad dream. Oh, but everything's all right now.
You have all seen the picture, and although it has a happy ending, remember this could have happened and is happening. So let's be careful. Remember what you have seen and heard. Do not let your guard down for a minute. Thank you so much for your attention.
Swerve!
It started off a bit slow, but it got there in the end. I couldn't stop laughing at that video.
Oh, I loved all the emotion Mom had. Good Lord.
Oh, no, she's missing again for the third time today. Fucking bitch.
I'm sorry, lady, but your daughter's dead.
Your daughter's a wino.
It was all a dream. Bobby
Ewing.
The whole fucking time. Absolutely. Jesus Christ.
Man.
Well, did we learn anything today, children?
Well, the suspect has probably got like a stuffed mother, like in that Alfred Hitchcock film, because of the dolls.
That lady had to act to save her life. She'd be dead too. Yeah, absolutely, OBS. Somebody earlier, I think Pope said that if it were a cyborg superpower figure, that we'd all be getting in that car. I wouldn't. I've got one. But I can guarantee you that $900 figure would tempt the shit out of you to get in that fucking car.
If it was a jumbo Machinda, you'd be in there.
In a fucking heartbeat. Especially if it was one of those.
Like, give me all the toys, you bastard.
God, dog. If Combattler V, yes.
Yeah.
That is ultimate Machinda right there. Yeah, I'd get in there. All I had to do was suck on this hose.
They'd have got a little Joneser with any comic book off the rack. It wouldn't have mattered which one.
That's the dangers, folks. No matter how cool the toy is, don't get in the car with the creep. He'll do more than just make you dead. He'll make you wish you were dead. What was that? The Edgar Rice Burroughs called that back in the days in the old pulp novels? It's a fate worse than death.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's unfortunately true for a lot of these crimes is that you don't want to know what happened to these poor children on the way out.
Hey, little boy, you want this Guy King? Why, yes, I do. Combattler V, mister? Oh, sure, let's go for a ride. More than just a ride. It's a ride, all right, buddy.
You know, and I've probably told this story on your show before, Bill, but I feel like it's kind of fitting after that video. When I was a little tyke, me and the neighbor girl were walking home from school. I think I was in first grade. She's in second grade. And the fella pulled over. We were about a block from our condo or apartment where we grew up. And guy was asking for directions. And Gina, the friend of mine, the neighbor girl, she was giving him directions. And I peered into the window there, and the feller had no pants on. He's down in the car looking at us, and I'm too young to know what's going on there, but
it was hot
going on. And so I kind of hook arms with Gina, and it was just like, we got
what's that, mister?
So we start trying to get out, and the guy follows us while we're walking down the road, and he's like, you know, hey man, maybe you guys can get in the car and show me where this is or whatever, and get lost.
No.
Well, He's still following us, and some fellas that were working at a little auto repair shop that was right there. He saw me getting agitated and yelling at the car, and this grease monkey dude come running out, and then the guy got scared and bugged off. And the guy was like, "Are you kids okay?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Where y'all live?" And I was like, I could see the place right now. He says, "You guys walk there and tell your parents what happened. I'll watch you." And he watched us go in, and we went in, but I never told my parents nothing. You know, we thought we'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, the crap can get a little too real.
That's a hell of a fucking story there, Joe.
All true.
We used to have this old guy that lived near the primary school I went when I was a little kid, and I hadn't met him or seen him, but a friend of mine walked home the same way. He's like, "Oh, it's Tom. Yeah, come in here. I'll make you a sandwich." Okay. And I'm thinking, okay, like, this is when I'm about 7 or 8, but I'm thinking, stranger danger. Is he a weirdo? Is he going to lock you in a cupboard? I went with my friend to make sure he was okay. But it turned out he was just a sweet old man who was a widower, and he would make like sandwiches for the local kids who were mostly pretty poor. Most of us didn't have lunches in school or that. And he was just a nice guy. He gave us sandwiches, and nobody got murdered or abducted or any of that stuff.
Come on in here, little
Stranger
boy.
danger.
Let me make you a ham sandwich.
Yeah. It was just like that, but it was legit. It was just a nice fella.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I never had no experiences. So thankful.
What?
Fucking weirdos. What do we call that? Wood chipper material. These people need to be fed into the wood chipper.
Yeah. Golly.
Oh, Dub 2020, thank you for subscribing to me. Wherever you are and whoever you are, thank you so much. I appreciate having these subscriptions come in. Thank you, Jennifer Poe, for giving me a $5 tip earlier today. That was nice of you. You're the first tipper of the year, by the way. Appreciate that. Like I said, it's going to go to the new modem fund so that I can increase my bandwidth over here. Hey, there it goes right there. My new subscriber. Haven't had the fireworks go off in the show in a long time. Kind of neat there, huh?
$705.
Absolutely, man. I'm doing what they call in World of Warcraft. I'm grinding. I'm out there in the woods, killing wolves. You know, getting it up
little
there.
Chinese kids to get you gold.
Absolutely. When did the creeps transition from pink sedans to white vans? That would be in the late 70s when the panel vans got popular. You know, the ones with no windows on them.
Abduction wagons.
Yeah, very good. Buffalo Bill would go and find the fat girls to lure into his van so that he could go make his woman suit. Yes. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again.
It likes the lotion.
Oh boy, tonight's been a hell of a show, guys.
It's a lot of fun.
We went on several tangents. We got stuck on wrestling for a while. I told you guys my traumatic kidnapping story, which is great because I didn't get kidnapped. You know.
I had packages arrive during the stream. It's been going that long.
Kidnap story, and Joneser predicted it way before the show even started.
Nostradamus.
I willed it to happen.
You willed it.
I managed to unbox 2 things through the streams. I got this guy unboxed.
Oh, it's Black Adam from the Black Adam movie. We got Shadow Weaver. Let me bring you up full screen there so we can
see. We got the special Aussie edition Dusty.
Dusty Rhodes. Let me tell you what hard times are.
Hard times are coming.
Absolutely. Hell, I played that Hard Times video, and they busted the hell out of my ass for playing Hard Times.
Really? I know you've done Hard Times, and they're like, we're going to learn them a lesson.
You're going to learn what Hard Times are.
Nice. The bass is really good. Like, I wasn't sure, but it's nice. Yeah, it's much more stable than the Orco bass.
Trying to beat the ring.
Yeah, I see it there, and there's a way to display that. It does. You have to put the robe around her arm so that it works right. Yeah. So there we go. What else we got going on here? Sir Clifton is gone to go get something to show us, I think.
Yeah, something I got the wife come in today.
Ah.
All right. Deathstroke, the Terminator, with his sword, but not his machine gun.
There you go. That explains the little folds in the material.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah.
Nightwing, who has only his logo on the outside of the package and not his actual name. So how do we know he's Nightwing? Well, you have to turn it over and read the card on the back.
I didn't even notice.
Superman Nightwing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't even notice that. I got mine Nightwing, Deathstroke, and Wonder Woman a while ago. Just haven't opened them. I kind of lost interest in this McFarlane superpowers line. Like, I don't know.
It's a stupid line. If they'd done the proper scale, we'd done the proper range of characters.
I like it. I mean, I don't.
I'm
can't
not
get
saying
the
that they're
finish, so that's
if you don't. I absolutely agree 100%. But I was going to get some, and then I saw they don't scale. They're doing random characters. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
We lost you, Bill.
He'll come back.
He will.
Tell the Max Headroom.
He always does.
Yes, he did. But
Max Headroom or Arkwright, take your pick. It's like
Mr. Roboto.
Right.
Let me know if I'm back.
You are now.
You're back.
You're not moving, but I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear.
Oh, maybe not.
Mr. Roboto.
Am I still wigging?
You're wigging pretty hard, bud.
That was a long one.
Yeah.
That was a long one.
I'm back, I think. Yeah, it was pretty long one that
so.
time, but it's towards the end. Did you guys see Michael French's rant on this over at Retro Blasting?
Yeah.
The
no.
superpowers. If you get a chance, go over to Retro Blasting and watch Michael French's take on this. He rants pretty hard on this line. He's like Johnny. He rants on the scale being slightly.
It's like, why? Why do they do that? It's fine on its own, but if you want to put them with the old ones,
hello.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I was super excited about it when it first came out, and I was getting all of them, and I probably still will, but it was just one of those things where it's like, I guess it's just the excitement of the thing wore off when I was like, well, no Lex Luthor, no Joker, like, I get the Batman who laughs.
Batman now, come on now, get Batman.
Batman.
Now they're going to do this next wave they're doing. We're going to get Detective Batman. We're going to get Robin and Aquaman. And we're going to get another one. We're going to get another one. Another Wonder Woman also.
Are they doing the classic Aquaman, the short hair, or the 90s long hair?
Stop the stutter fun. Thank you, Pope. I appreciate that.
It looked like more of a classic Aquaman look, but he had like long hair or something like that. It wasn't completely classic, but it wasn't like the Jason Momoa or the.
We're going to get the invisible jet for the ride also.
Yeah.
I think the vehicles are nice, and I don't think the figures are terrible. They're okay figures, but I don't get them doing kind of random character select, and the card art. If you look at the whole line, every piece of art is from a different goddamn decade, whereas the original line was all from the same era, so it didn't make any sense to me.
Right. No, and some of the character choices, like I get the safe ones, like we got Batman, we got Superman.
Batman,
like,
Superman,
those make
Flash.
sense, but it's like Batman Who Laughs kind of made me go instead of Joker. Like
that was a weird choice, and I actually liked that character, but not in that line.
And I hope we get
Joker
Hal
would have
Jordan.
been way better.
I think Michael French is probably right when they came up with a line, and at some point they went, well, we're going to make a line to compete with the Hasbro retro card small scale figures. And what's a brand or name? Superpowers. Let's slap that on there. It seems like that's what they did.
Right. No, I don't know. It could have been better, you know. I hope we get some characters that we didn't get before. Like I'd love to see like Catwoman or Supergirl or some different characters. You know, Deathstroke's neat, Nightwing's neat, brings new life into it.
Deathstroke looks nice. I like the Batwing and that stupid Superman thing with the punchy fist. Those are cool vehicles. And you could chuck
that's vintage, man. That's the Supermobile we wished we had when the Superpowers line first came.
But you could buy that, ignore the line, chuck some 90s Kenner Batman in there.
Well, here's the thing. McFarlane's always been good with vehicles.
There you go.
Yeah, McFarlane.
It's a crazy thing, but it's cool they made it.
our Superman from Superpowers fits in that vehicle. Our Batman will fit in the new Batmobile.
Yeah. You could use the Superpowers or the later Kenner stuff.
The vehicles are fine. The figures are for shit. Now, of course, the one gripe that we've all had with the Supermobile was that the villain capture compartments will not hold a figure at all. But you can put Superman's groceries in there or something like that.
That's like me. I got from a Ford to a Hyundai and I can't get nothing in it.
Well, I went ahead and killed OBS, and I'm going straight through the laptop right now. That may cut some of these issues out for the rest of the night. But we're almost to the end of the show, folks. I went over the 2-hour mark. It's 2 hours, 17 minutes. And we're now talking about superpowers and our gripes with it. Is the scale bothering you guys? Is that a bother?
To me, that wasn't the issue. It has that vintage feel to it, and I think that's what they were going for with the card art. Is it's supposed to be a throwback for us old guys to see them on the shelf and go, "Hey, I remember these."
I'll buy one or two on card.
Well, I understand that. Here we go. Let me pull you up there.
That looks nice. He's got decent art on there.
That's not a bad.
Makes sense.
That's
the Batman
not a bad
one has 90s Jim Lee art, which makes no fucking sense for an 80s theme line.
Well, that figure actually looks like the Flash when he got his new costume back in the 90s.
Yeah. See, there's got Jim Lee art, and it's
that's supposed to be Hush Batman,
right?
But I don't get why they went. It's an 80s retro line throwback in the marketing, but then they went random.
McFarlane's all about new shit, man. He's all about new shit.
Yeah. That's the thing with the whole McFarlane toys is they do just really weird choices of stuff.
Here we have Rebirth Wonder Woman.
That's the first classic Wonder Woman they've done an Eddie McFarlane line. They still haven't done a 7-inch normal.
Well, the only reason that her panties have got stars on them is because we all bitched.
I think that's the nicest figure in the line.
And it is. It's a nice beefy figure.
And
I don't like the deco, and I don't like that armor. I like the classic Dark Side look. But
yeah, you could fit him with your superpowers because he's oversized.
Right.
Yeah, I liked the Dark Side.
I wished we would have got Hal Jordan, but instead we got him.
I actually like Jon Stewart, but I mean, I would have preferred a Hal Jordan, but maybe they'll do one later.
I like Jon Stewart, but he's like 70s, 90s, 80s was Hal Jordan again.
Guy Gardner would have been an interesting choice too.
Yeah.
Yes, OBS. $10. Thank you, sweetheart. It did go through.
Like that card art makes more sense. I've used a more classic looking Superman there rather than a 90s one. Can you imagine if it was a 90s one with the mullet hair on that card? You'd go, who would buy it?
Not I. I've got a mullet Superman.
Or if it's in the black costume.
A black costume Superman I might go for.
Solar suit.
Okay, that's it.
Well, here's the thing. McFarlane said that he was also going to do the figures that we never got. Well, we're getting a few of those, I guess. Deathstroke, the Terminator. That's not a bad looking figure, to be honest with you. But
they should do a goddamn cyborg.
A lot of fans, and I think Michael French was doing this as well, is griping about the fact that Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman are coming out in this line. He's got to do that, folks, because that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why that's being done. What does it say? Sorry, OBS Bill said he turned you off. Yeah, the overlays are not going to show on screen now because I turned not Ocean Breeze Salty, but the OBS
the program.
I turned that off. But yes, your tip did go through. I got the $10 tip, and thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It would make more sense if they're doing superpowers, just redo all the classic ones and do the new ones, so you got them all together in the same scale, and put Cyborg and characters that are harder to get in the old line in there earlier.
I think that they need to re-release Cyborg, but I'm going to tell you what, the Cyborg that we get will not be anything like the Cyborg.
No, it will look like New 52 or Afterbirth or the movie version or something stupid like that.
I like that. Afterbirth.
Because I'm a masochist, I've been reading more Afterbirth comics this week, but don't tell anyone.
Too late. You just told the world. Lie.
You know,
I'll never let it down. That's the end of me.
I think I find my comics the same way I find my wrestling. I just keep reaching backward, and I'm not really too interested in what's happening now.
I agree. I like the classic stuff better, but I just read a bit of everything.
Well, I'm kind of like you, Joneser. I'm stuck in the Bronze Age, because the Bronze Age was when we were getting away from the silliness of the Silver Age. Because the Golden Age moved into the Silver Age, and comics got more and more silly. Batman in space, ray guns. Superman had Superman robots to take his place, so he could be Clark Kent and have Superman in the same place. Things just got stupider and stupider and stupider.
Even Dick Tracy was riding around a UFO. Like
he was the Moon Maid and all of that shit.
Yeah, they were getting wild.
I just have one question though.
Yeah,
and I've never been able to figure this out. Why does Superman fly in space and he had to have a helmet, but in any other things he's not wearing a helmet? So
which is a helmet?
No. Wait a minute. Are you talking about pre-crisis or post-crisis? There's a reason for that. Post-crisis. Pre-crisis, he could fly in space with no helmet. He didn't have to breathe up there if he didn't want to. He could fly at the speed of light. He could go anywhere he wanted to go. He could move planets without burrowing into the ground if he wanted to, just by pushing on the ground. How that worked. Physics had no meaning back then. When John Byrne took over the line, John Byrne depowered Superman quite a bit. Superman's
oxygen was like X amount of hours or days.
Yeah, he could take a deep breath and go up into space, but after a while he would have to come back and get some more breath. So then he would wear the oxygen tank and mask if he have to spend a long time in space, so that he could have that. There were other limitations on him. If an airplane was falling out of the sky, not only would he have trouble getting it back down to the ground, but he would have to be careful where he hit that plane so that he didn't break the plane in half trying to get it down to the ground. John Byrne tried to make Superman a little more realistic in that fashion. So yes, that's why the post-crisis Superman had to have oxygen when he was in space. But
honestly, I think it made Superman more of an interesting character, because you go back and it was hard to challenge him. Could you imagine?
Well, it got to the point to where he was hard to write for. The only people that could do it were Gary Bates and Elliot S. Maggin.
And sometimes he had like a spacesuit or a power armor, if he was away from the yellow sun of Earth in a different area, his powers would drain the longer he was away from the yellow sun. So it made sense to have some kind of suit or rebreather.
Well, let's go back in time for a minute to Bronze Age Superman. Talk about him for a minute. In the early 1970s, they did depower Superman. The sand creature storyline came along. They did a lot of they tried different ways of doing this, but every time they did it, the creeping powers would happen, and he would get back to God level before it was over with. But when Carrie Bates and Elliot S. Magan were writing the line was when it was the best. The Superman stories became more of a soap opera to me. It was more about Superman's interaction with Lois Lane, Lana Lang, and his immediate, family there at the Daily Planet. And those were interesting stories because a lot of times Superman would have to figure out something instead of having to just use his muscles. He would have to use his super brain as well. So those comics were good reads. But
was he smart in that era or not?
Yes, he was super smart. He could think.
Because he goes from being a bit of a dullard to a genius, and then up and down, and then and when Grant Morrison did All Star Superman, he made him a genius again.
Yeah, Superman was supposed to have a super intelligence. Now, was he as good a detective as Batman? That's arguable. No, he was not.
You can put that down to learn skill. Like you've got different priorities, different skills of learn. Like a job, like you learn one job, doesn't qualify for another one. You've still got to learn the skills for a different job.
Well, the other thing that you also have to remember was Superman was Clark Kent, and Clark Kent was actually who he was. Superman was the disguise that he wore.
Yeah.
Like Batman, who is Batman and wears the disguise of Bruce Wayne when he's not Batman. There's a difference. As a matter of fact, I think that there was an issue of a comic. It was a newer comic, but where each of the characters is telling who they really are, and there's a truth detector involved in this, possibly the Golden Lasso. I can't remember the story exactly, but Superman says that he's Clark Kent, and Wonder Woman says that in her mind or whatever, it's saying that she's Diana Prince, and Batman's over there, and it's Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
That's who he is. That's who he really is.
Yeah. So, and the other thing to remember about Superman, he is an award-winning, Pulitzer Prize-winning, novel-writing reporter. Okay.
Yeah, who pretends not to be. Who pretends to be like modest and fly under the radar.
But he is all of that. So I'm sure that to be a reporter, in order to get those stories, you have to have a little bit of smarts up here in order to get that out. And so he could, he uses all of this. So Superman's a complicated character to write for. There are very few that could write a godlike character in a storyline and not have the deus ex machina of him just being able to do anything he wants to and just solve the story altogether just by his superpowers alone.
The Flash would be another one that's really tough. I mean, how do you come up with a problem that he couldn't solve in the first panel of the comic in a nanosecond?
Exactly.
I mean, any Flash story told realistically is over on the first page.
And he was depowered.
Hostess pies and 0.1 nanoseconds.
Well, once again, I go back to post-crisis, the time right after crisis happened, where Barry Allen, they took him out of the picture. He died saving everyone in the crisis. And Wally West, the Kid Flash, decides in homage to Barry Allen, he will wear Barry's costume and become the Flash. But his powers are not as great as the Flash's were. He needs to have energy, which means he has to eat a lot of food in order, because his metabolism is up. And he doesn't have the light speed superpowers. The speed of sound is about as fast as he can get to. When his energy levels become low, his super speed starts dropping off. So you had that depowerization of Flash as well at that era.
You never see the Flash go to the toilet, and we're grateful for that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that too. We never see the superheroes in the toilet. So
because that super metabolism, he'd have to eat so much to be the Flash. You look at what bodybuilders do, and wrestlers are like the Flash. I'm like, man.
Well, I guess the deal is he burns it up, so it never even becomes new. It was used up energy. I wonder if he ever even does go to the bathroom.
I like the Grant Morrison idea with Superman. He's so efficient, he just metabolizes everything, so he just never goes. So you can apply the same to the Flash.
Well, that brings up another issue, though. You're talking about Superman. John Byrne brought this up. The cells of his body act like living solar batteries.
Yeah.
Superman actually gains sustenance from sunlight.
He doesn't actually have to eat.
No. He only
He's
does
like
because
a chlorophyll plant.
The OG Lego Star Wars was hysterical. Love those. OBS is talking about the Lego.
Those are fun. Me and
they're
Lyric
good
played
fun. They've done those
and
animated specials, and some are on Amazon Prime. If you have that, you can watch them for free, or YouTube. The video game ones, you can watch the cutscenes all edited together on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, those are fun. Me and Lyric played a lot of those Lego games, and the Star Wars ones are really fun that he's into, and you know those are really fun.
And they feel like 50s, 60s comics where they get the spirit of the character, but they're having fun of it. They're having fun with it, but not making fun of it.
Right. Yeah. You can tell they're written with love by people who are into the property.
Not the cynical bullshit you get in the live action ones where it's like, oh, we're gonna change it just because.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting my notifications in my email of all these wonderful tips and donations that I got tonight. Thank you so much, folks. And Vader was hysterical. Did anybody see the Lego Star Wars Christmas special?
No.
Oh, maybe. I can't remember. I've watched so many of those Lego things, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of interesting. Of course, we know that Disney's got an agenda going on over there, but I think Rey had to travel through time, and it was all because of Rey that stupid.
I watched at least a clip of it. Yes, that's familiar. And it was funny. And that they managed to rehabilitate that god-awful Lucas Star Wars special.
Well, the god-awful Lucas Star Wars special has forced it off on my family every Christmas. They're forced to sit in there and watch the whole thing.
What? You've seen it more than once?
It is a tradition in the weird household here where we
you got your VR headset for your Chewbacca Wookiee sex.
The minutes upon minutes upon long ass minutes of nothing but Wookiee speech with no subtitles. There's pervy old Lumpy sitting over there watching video of the hollow videos. I was waiting for him to be sitting there doing like this right here while he's watching the video, you know.
At my house,
it's the best comedy gold, but how they made it is a serious thing. I don't know.
That's an episode all in of itself. Is the hilarity that happened making that. It's a Life Day tradition. Yes, it is. Happy Life Day. At the very end, when they ran out of money, the budget was killed, and they had this final scene that they had to do where all the Wookiees were celebrating Life Day. That was filmed in a warehouse, and they were all wearing store-bought Chewbacca masks, and they just put red robes on them to hide the fact that they had no costumes on. Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that, so
just don't.
I'm gonna have to.
This is like Kiss versus the Phantom of the Park. This shit has to be seen at least once in your lifetime to see what real shit looks like.
Real shit.
Kiss versus the Phantom.
You can't have the light without the darkness.
Do y'all want to know what's even crazier? We're talking the Star Wars right now. I'm going through all the Star Wars movies. So now, when I get through to the end, we're going to have to watch the
Christmas special. Okay, right after Episode 4, A New Hope, the Christmas special lies in that area. Right after that.
Clifton, have you never seen all the Star Wars movies before?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I've got all of them. I've just never seen I hadn't never done the Christmas special.
You didn't miss
I've just only done the movies, and that's it.
Clifton, do you count the Clone Wars animated movie with the movies? Because it came to the cinema.
I didn't watch the animated.
But the movie.
For me, I've just done, the
live.
the
animated series, by the way, Johnny. And
I'm just thinking because it came to theaters, so it makes it like a theatrical thing. So therefore, there's at least another film.
Where do the Ewok movies fit into all this?
Good question. I'm not even really a Star Wars fan, but I find it weird when people forget the other at least 3 other films that are out there.
I know about what you're talking about. That's just something that just never interested me. I just never got into it. Didn't want to watch it. Still don't. We're talking about it. Just the live action is what I've gone to and what I'm always drawn to. So.
It's like that reading DC or Batman. There's like the stuff I like, and then there's all sorts of side things I just don't care.
Correct. I'm with you on that one.
All right, I'm going to talk about something that's out there, and I don't know if you can still find these things or not. But to do this, you must sail on the high seas, and you must be willing to search in the places of darkness on the internet.
I hope
there are 2 cuts. One is a cut of Star Wars. It's called the Battle in Space or something like that, and it's cut as if it were a cheesy sci-fi movie from the 1970s, complete with when the stormtroopers get shot, blood splatters out onto the wall.
Wow!
Shitty music. R2D2, whatever he says is subtitled on the screen, and it's funny as hell. That has to be seen. And the other one is the Quentin Tarantino cut of Empire Strikes Back. I have these. I can't show them to you, but I've cut them into they're grindhouse movies. Okay, they made Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back basically into grindhouse movies. If you can ever get your hands on these cuts of the movies, they are absolute gold and they're hilarious.
Wow.
Let me get off camera in just a second. You guys can chat up, and I'm going to run in there. I've got these things where I made little posters for them and put my homebrew DVDs into little packages to hold them. I'll see if I can find at least one of those, and I can show you the poster of it. I'll be right back.
I don't know those ones. Like I know people like Tarantino and Edgar Wright have done their own fan cuts of various films that they can't release for obvious reasons because they'll get sued.
Right. No, I don't know. For me, it was original trilogy, and anything outside of that, you kind of start to lose me. I mean, I did watch the prequels. I did watch the sequels. I like the prequels better. I didn't like the sequels much at all. I've watched a lot of the animation. It's hit or miss. I will say The Mandalorian's a lot of fun, and I will say I liked the Obi-Wan show they did. But a lot of the stuff outside the original trilogy just isn't the same for me as the original trilogy was. I also read a lot of the books. The books were really good when I was in high school.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's no debate on that. The originals, that's the best.
You guys ever dive into the books or read any of the I know they're not canon, but I think they went in a better direction after the end of Return of the Jedi than the sequels do. Obviously, you know, you get to Luke opening up a Jedi school and things. Those are the movies I wanted to see from there.
Yeah.
You know, like seeing Luke take the lightsaber and throw it over his shoulder, I was just like, I didn't feel like he would do that.
That wasn't Luke.
You know, I even saw a funny meme where they showed Luke sitting there and they showed young Luke and he's like, no, there is still some good in my father. I cannot kill him. And then looking at his little nephew, he's like, he's having a bad dream. He's ready to hack the child, you know? And I was like, yeah, this whoever wrote this did it a disservice, in my opinion.
That wasn't good at all. And then because of the backlash, the last movie was so horribly chopped because they needed to get something to make everybody happy and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
There we go. He's got the VCDs from the Bangkok market.
Wow.
2 great movies for the price of one together in one smash explosive show. We've got
be great.
We've got Jaws, the shark exploitation cut.
Shark exploitation.
And we've got Once Upon a Time in Space, War of the Stars.
I feel like that phrase should be on that Rolo toy. What's the thing? The laser shark should have shark exploitation at its best. That should be on the package.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are back, but
they're
this
back
time,
to back
they're
illegally
back.
down at your Sunday market.
That's cool.
And yes, these were done by a fellow who goes by the moniker of the man behind the mask. I don't know if these things are still available on the worldwide webs of fun, but you must use nefarious means that I don't condone to go out there and get them. The torrent of bits perhaps might help, but that would be on you, not me. I'm not saying do this. I'm not condoning this at all, YouTube. Do not do this, but that's that.
I will do the things as instructed.
Exactly. So there you go, folks.
Thank you for mentioning those weird bootleg nonsense things. I never heard of them. I love obscure weird nonsense.
And the Weird Al Star Wars songs are great.
Yeah.
The Quentin Tarantino.
I've got the best
Weird
Al in my kitchen. I put on when I'm making dinner or cooking.
And what's neat about the Tarantino cut of Empire Strikes Back is it starts with Luke hanging on the weather vane at the bottom of Cloud City, and he remembers back all of this shit.
Oh yeah, because you got to do Tarantino where you start at the end and go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
like every other one of his movies.
Wow. Can we film it out of sequence so it gives you a headache?
Right.
I'm going through the chat here real quick. We've lost all of our viewers. There's 3 whole people watching. Hi guys, glad y'all stuck it out till the end.
But they're the people that count.
He left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye.
3 people watching are Joneser and Clifton and Johnny.
I'm not watching. It's just my.
I don't believe
AI.
that number up there is not believable, Clifton. You know that, right? You figured that out. You can't believe that. There are people,
I can prove that number is not legit because when I'm watching on TV, it says a different number than the one my phone says.
Yeah. If I watch on 3 devices, it says a different number for some reason.
Exactly.
I wish I was a Jedi and a ninja and a sniper. I'd be messing these demons up. I'd be messing some folks up if I was all of that.
You would have, yes.
Absolutely. Boy, howdy, this show has gone so many different directions. I love late night because we can do this. Screw Your Feelings is still here. Hey, man.
What's up, dude?
There you go. You've fudged the algorithm and you've proved Bill wrong about who's actually watching.
Algorithm is a piece of crap. I'm probably shadow banned. I don't even know if my shit even gets out into the feed anymore.
Oh, ninjas are coming through in the night. They're going to decapitate you. There's no stopping it.
I have a loyal group of listeners. My viewing hours actually have improved in the last few weeks.
Good.
But most of that has to do with Michael Purvis, who plays my videos on loops constantly.
That's a good man.
I've left stuff on for like favorite guys when I don't have time to watch it, but it's just upload. I just click it, walk away, like it, so at least it gets a view, and I'll actually watch it later.
Bill, I might steal your idea of putting some ambient noise for like 8 hours on a video and just see people use it to sleep.
That's not my idea. That's been legitimately done. I'm also planning on this Christmas. There's going to be 10 hours of fucking fireplace.
There you go.
Right here.
Oh yeah.
If you want 10 hours of Nyan Cat, it's out there.
I could care less about that. But you know what? Talking about Nyan Cat, if you're into papercraft, you can make a papercraft Nyan Cat with a little crank on the side of it that makes it sit there and do like, go up and down and with
I would genuinely like that.
Thunderstorms and Tesla frequencies. Yeah, that kind of shit gets you so many fucking hours of viewing time. You would be surprised.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not. All these little tricks to fool the algorithm or to workarounds or whatever. I mean, if it works, it works. Use it, I say. So, before we end the night, okay, I'm going to start with Joneser. When is Joneser going to get a real computer and do real live streams?
Hopefully sooner rather than later. There's a lot of things on Joneser's little wish list to buy. Number one with the bullet, a better audio system, either a mic or a headset or something. I've got some equipment I need to buy for my band. We've got some gigs coming up. I got to get drum cases, better cymbals. We're doing an in-ear audio monitoring system on stage, which is going to be a little different. So there's some stuff kind of ahead of the list. But my wife does have an old laptop that I could use. And I am going to start trying to get into the live stream game. But I imagine we're probably still another month or two off of that.
I got you. Okay. And Johnny Sorensen, who is a frequent visitor to all of our chat streams and sometimes comes on to visit us live on camera.
Or serial pest.
Are you planning on starting a YouTube channel anytime soon of your own? And if so, what will
I don't know. Like my account's about 8 or 10 years old. I've been putting up audio only talks that are just old. Like I've written articles for like 10 years about Batman and other bullshit. And I found a site that will convert them into a understandable computer voice sound. I've been putting those up. But now they've discontinued that on WordPress. So I might have a go at recording my own articles, my own voice. But the problem is I have a mix. I have a hybrid accent of 20 years of living in New Zealand and 21 years Australia. And I tend to slur my words at the best times. But if I slow down and talk properly, I can talk slightly more intelligibly.
Okay.
So I don't know. I might.
You know what's funny about that is I bet you that Australians can tell a New Zealander by his accent right off the bat. I can.
Sure.
Y'all all sound alike to me.
Yeah.
I will say this, Johnny. I would love to talk some Batman with you one of these days, or to hear what you have to say about
Batman fan right there.
The only thing I definitely want to do is if you look at what Largo's doing, he's been doing talks with people. I want to do talks, but just like Batman talks. It could be anything: toys, movies, video games, Golden Age comics, whatever. Like I like all of it. So I'd happily talk to any of you guys about Batman anytime, any era, any media. Like I go pretty wide with my interests.
And you were recently on Largo's Lounge, I think, talking Batman.
Unplanned. we do have a planned talk coming up in his Monsters thing.
Okay.
But that one was actually to test this microphone I'm using right now to see if it would work.
Okay.
And the timing linked up that he just went, fuck it, let's hit record and do something now. So we just riffed on whatever, like Doctor Who and comics. That's why
it's a good watch if you guys haven't seen it yet. Over at Largo's Lair.
Well, that's a compliment because that's my brain any day of the week, just jumps around from one thing to another. It's hard trying to get me down on one topic. And I started making myself doing writing as a hobby to say, fuck this manic Rolloisms, try to get me onto one thing and do it. And I've been doing it for like 8 to 10 years now, writing on one topic, and I'll do it for at least another 10 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to tout Largo's channel. Largo started out as my co-host because he said
he's kicking ass.
Yeah, he is. He started out co-hosting with me because he is a prominent visitor to all these channels, and it's always been in the comment section, always been in the chats. Everywhere you look, Largo was there, and he's quick-witted, much more so than I. And so I asked him to be my co-host, and he agreed because he said, I have no desire to have a YouTube channel. And then he wanted to start posting just a few little shorts and stuff. And so I helped him make his YouTube channel. And I told him, I said, once this bug hits you, you're going to do this full time, and you won't be able to co-host this show anymore because you won't have time. Oh, no, that'll never happen. Right. So yeah, he hit the ground running, and he's a natural at this. And
he has what I'd like to call a good radio voice, where not that I'm saying anything bad about his face. His face is fantastic. But if you listen to radio or talk shows or podcasts, which I do a lot because I don't sleep a hell of a lot. Like last night, I lay awake for 5 hours listening to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
He has a fantastic radio voice, and he likes jumping around to different topics and different interests with interesting people. So I'm there for whatever the hell he's talking about. I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could watch more of him than I get a chance to do because when you're doing your own content, you got to skip other people's in order to get yours made.
You got to put the audio on while you're doing other shit and just play it in the background because you haven't got time.
Right, but he took to this online tool called Canva. I've tried to use it. I don't have as much luck with it as Largo did. But Largo makes a hell of a damn entertaining video using the tools that Canva gives you in order to cut one together. And I'm kind of envious of what he's able to accomplish just with that.
Yeah, he's done good.
Yes, absolutely. And that the way the world kind of moves around, and then all of a sudden it spins down into Guatemala City. That is awesome. And he all of that is clips that he was able to get and use from Canva. So if you got the money to spend to get Canva, and you've got a nice computer at the house and a good internet connection, and you're having trouble figuring out how to cut these videos together that look so fucking sharp and everything, learn to use that tool.
I'm gonna have a go. I'm gonna have a go with it because he's doing all kinds of talks, different people. And I'd like to be able to make my own slideshow, put it on that, send it to him, and go, here it is, and then save him some time if I can. That'd be good.
Don't be a Luddite like me, continuing to use Windows media player to create your shit. What I use? Windows Movie Maker, and I've just recently started using BSD Free Video Editor, which is a godsend. Because I'm able to do things like cut 2 videos in together so that they interact. That's how I did the Drunken Sailor video with the different characters on in little boxes in there against the background. But Canva does all of that too, and it's a little easier than using that tool. But I just don't know he's just good at it. It's a natural thing, and I think that he's taking classes on making PowerPoint slides and speech and presentation, and that he uses all those tools.
He's doing good. I learned PowerPoint like I want to say like 25 years ago in high school. I could do a PowerPoint, but I've only fucked about with Canva for like a couple of times, and I'd have to really get into it and have a proper go at it to see what else it can do.
And he makes these things in Canva, and he publishes them as a PDF file that you can present easily on StreamYard. And yes, he will come back for one final show someday in the future, where we will cover Zorro in a spotlight like the old spotlights that we were doing before. And if Pope, if you're still with us, I appreciate you going back and watching the Phantom and the spotlights that you missed out back when you were having fun hunting and fishing and living the real world with your family. But he will come back one day and do one final episode with us, and it's going to be on Zorro, and I cannot wait to see what he's got.
I look forward to that, and in the future, like not to steal Largo's thunder, but I love to research the hell out of things, and I love like everything in comics from like 1900 through year 2000. If I can learn the software of like to make it presentable, like I've written articles that are like anything from 100 to 10,000 words. Some I've researched for a week, a month. Some I spent 6 months, and I bought a half dozen books just to write one article so I could learn enough about a topic because I wanted to write it. So I'd be happy to contribute down the track for any sort of golden age, silver age characters or like detective heroes.
I can get, Jack. I'll take all the content I can get. You are welcome to come on here.
Any of those like pre-superhero, what do you call them? Mystery men, like your Shadow, your Doctor, all that kind of era. I love all that stuff. I love the modern stuff. I love the old stuff. I love the new stuff. And I go kind of wide with the different things. And I like to get into the nitty gritty of like, well, who created it and when, and sort of what did it influence, and the costume and the motifs and all that.
Well, one of the things that Largo and I were going to do that we had on track at one time, we were going to really get into some of the really obscure stuff like the Spider, Master of Men, and stuff like that, that a lot of people may not even be aware of. These old pulp.
The Spider was very influential.
He was, and that would be great if you come up with something like that, and together we could collaborate, make a presentation of some sort. I have a little bit of skills at making PowerPoints. I could probably put something together, but I would need the material to do it with.
Yeah,
and then
I'm good at doing like the background on stuff, and like, I mean, when I was 10 years old, I used to go to the state library to read the first like Marvel book that had like the history of pre-Marvel characters when it used to be the older. Same with DC when it was.
Marvel Comics, if I'm not mistaken, that started out as Atlas Comics. If I'm
Well, it was a couple of different companies, but the same with DC. It was national periodicals and publications and whatnot. And you go far enough back in the DC history, they were tied up with the mafia and like news agent rackets and all kinds of nonsense. But everything was fucking crooked back then after the war years.
Yeah, it was. And I've got a few books on that era. It's fun reading the one about Stan Lee and what was going on with Marvel.
Yeah, like I love the Stan Lee characters, but like there's a real parallel with the Bob Kane thing where it's like, well, what did he actually create and what did he steal credit for that Jack Kirby did?
Or Ditko. Ditko did legwork on Spider-Man for sure.
Well, you know, that brings up a good point. When Kirby went to DC Comics and started doing the Fourth World stuff, in the Mr. Miracle comic book, Mr. Miracle gained a manager, if you will, and his name was Funky Flashman. And Funky Flashman was Stan Lee. If you look at what Stan Lee looked like back then, he looked just like Funky Flashman.
Yeah.
And if you
I liked
in
the live action movies, you know, it has all the cameos in different movies. I like the one in the I think it was Avengers Endgame or the other part But when they go back, Iron Man goes back in time to like the 70s, and you see like the Stan Lee and like the muscle car under their hair, and like that was like my favorite cameo.
Well, we're talking about Funky Flashman. If you read those comics, Funky Flashman was absolutely fake all the way, including the wig, the toupee, the beard, everything fake, because it was all the way that Kirby dealt with what he had to deal with Stan Lee. He at the time he and Stan Lee were on the outs, and Funky Flashman was his way of making a pretty good dig at Stan.
Well, Stanley went from being like a decent comics writer who liked the classic novels and Shakespeare to being like the figurehead or showman for Marvel, which helped elevate the comics, get it out there to more of the public. He was doing those university lectures in the 70s. And Kirby was like more of a recluse who was just all about the work and like just cranking out these amazing comics for years and years. And it's you can see the sort of love at some point they had in a relationship that turned sour, and then I can see a similar thing with the Bob Kane and Bill Finger thing, where one guy's all about the money, the glitz, the glamour, the fame, promoting the industry, which is good, but the guy who's actually doing all the fucking work is just getting ripped to shit in the background, and
that's just it. Like Kane and Lee were the face of the thing, whereas Finger or Ditko or Kirby,
the core of what's the stories,
they were the ones who were really doing more of the work than they were getting credit for. Where Lee was getting more of the credit than the work he was doing,
and they should have got royalties, the same as Siegel and Schuster, who got ripped off big time or were living in the poorhouse until Neil Adams came along and started fighting for them.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the work for hire thing that they did back then, that was a standard in the industry.
It's just disgusting from any, putting comics aside, any level of work or contract or whatever. It's just disgusting. It's comparable to the whole Vince McMahon and 80s, 90s wrestling debacle of like, they work for hire, but we own you and your character, and except if you're Jesse Ventura or Sergeant Slaughter, and like, fuck you.
Well, even Hulk Hogan had to change his legal name to Hulk Hogan in order to be able to continue to wrestle independently as Hulk Hogan.
Or even the Ultimate Warrior.
And
Ultimate Warrior had to do the same damn thing.
If you don't claim your own name and like stand up for yourself, someone's just going to take it from you if you're in show business. That's whether it's music or wrestling or comics, someone will fuck you over.
Absolutely, they will.
I hate to take the side of the Sharks, but I mean that's just good business. You know what I mean? I hate to.
What's the vernacular that the kids say these days? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at things like I'm not a Kiss fan, but I've got a mate who's like a hardcore Beatles Kiss fan. Like Gene Simmons, he copyrighted all that shit way back in the day, like T-shirts, royalties, albums, because he was a smart businessman more than a band guy. And that's what you've got to be if you're going to work for like Image Comics, Dark Horse. Own your shit and don't let people rip you off.
Pop actor Rick, what happened to Vince's face? Botox, baby. What the fuck? When Vince showed up, he got this little thin mustache thing going. He put black shoe polish all in his hair. Is he going through like a second midlife crisis or some shit?
Yeah, it looks
I don't know.
I think the old wrestling, if you're away long enough, everyone will forget and you can come back as a new character. I think he thought he could do it with himself.
Really makes him look creepy. You know,
I think he should have stayed dead when the limousine blew up. Jesus Christ. Why did that storyline get just poo-pooed and forgotten about? Does anybody know?
No.
The limousine blew up. Vince was dead, and then there he is back again next week.
Hey, you know what? They had some real good ones back then. They had Mae Young give birth to a hand, and they had
that's awful.
You know, and they had some good stuff. That's quality television right there.
Yeah. Golly.
Cutting edge.
Yeah. Oh, let's just screw you. It says, damn near did not think that was Vince when I read the news article. He looked funny in that, did he not?
Yeah. Like I said, really makes him look creepier.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, after you're reading all of his stories, these NDAs and things like that, you're thinking, wow, what a creep.
No.
And then he comes out looking like this now, and you're like, whoa, you're even creepier, bro.
Bad dye job,
No,
bad
we're
Botox
going on the
job.
3-hour mark, and we've stayed up late enough to attract Ozzy from Ozymandias Toys, Ostradamus, excuse me. Hey, guys, look at these legends. What's up, Ozzy? Walt McMahon, kiss my ass.
You're up late enough to see a Riding Hood with a Uzi.
There you go. We'll put you up here where we can see that.
That's awesome.
Big bad
That is
wolf
awesome.
damned.
That's BB Hood from the Darkstalkers Capcom games.
Neat. You never know what you'll see on this damn show.
You never know.
No.
Lord have mercy.
Or here.
So what have we learned tonight? That's a koala bear of some sort. Was that a beer stein in his hand?
It looks like a beer, but I think it's meant to be one of those Japanese drums.
Okay. Looked more like a beer stein to me.
Yeah, I always thought it was until I got it. And then I'm like, no, it's one of those obscure Japanese drums.
Wow. Well, goodness
Do
gracious.
talk to strangers.
Get in the car if they've got a cyborg figure.
If they've got a cyborg and it's not
They're
flaky,
wearing
just get in there, sucker punch him, grab the figure, and just run like hell.
And run like hell.
Yeah.
Don't get in the car and driving
or
the car
Grindizer
has
King.
no
Oh
pants.
man, get in the back seat.
Just make sure they're wearing pants.
Make sure they're wearing pants.
What I took away from it, strangers with toys will kill. Therefore, strangers with food is good. So,
stranger with food good, stranger with toys bad.
This dude that we talked to, he didn't have
Oh
toys.
boy, you want this action figure?
The dude we talked to didn't have toys or food. He just looking for directions or pretending to be looking for directions just to get us closer to the car.
Can you get in the car?
Hey
with
boy,
me?
you
How
want
to
this
get
toy
there?
here? Just get in the car.
Right.
oh man.
Well, it's funny we got when I was tugging Gina away, and I'm like, "Let's get out of here." She's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "He ain't got no pants on."
And then she's like, "Can I
see?" She's like, "What?
You want a vintage robot? I know you like vintage robots. Just get in the truck."
Oh man.
Sounds like your little girlfriend there was like little Sally.
You know, little naive.
Is that one of those Jones of vintage 50s comics he's got there?
War.
And this one's weird. Check this one out.
Yep.
All right, let me get you up there where we can see you.
Namor, Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's
the battle for the ages.
It's from another country or something.
India?
Ah, Zahandi. Somewhere in Europe or Italy or India.
It says Slav art Semic on it.
Oh, wow.
I can't find any information about this comic or what I should charge for it or what I should do with it.
It's much better than the shitty Australian editions we used to get. They were just like black and white reprints.
OBS is funny.
Yeah, OBS says, "I'm not getting the car with any of you sick bastards."
Yeah, you will, OBS.
Probably a good idea.
Get some classic rock or metal albums for free. You're getting in there.
The problem is she's over here getting contaminated by us every time I have a show. So we're slowly making our way in there.
I'm looking up the literal translation of Zahadi. It comes up as eerie, puzzling, enigmatic, mysterious, unaccountable, oracular. So it's like weird Marvel comics.
I thought it might be Slavic because it says Slav art on it. So I thought Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably safe with Nostradamus. Much more safer than you are here. He runs a clean show over there.
Yeah, it says Google. It says Slovak Republic.
Slavic.
Yeah, or Slavic. Sorry.
Wow. I'm not telling you pronounced it wrong. I'm just trying to see what exactly.
You're correct, and I should have done it correct because my partner comes from a family in the region, so I should get it.
Yeah, a man from Mississippi telling another man how to pronounce words. This is ridiculous.
Man's telling man's how to pronounce.
Whenever I buy these collections, I never know what I'm gonna find in there, and that was one of the weird ones I found in there.
Box of comics is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
I like the Korean bootleg Batman. That's an obscure one.
No,
like
you want to see some hilarious shit. Watch the Indian version of Superman.
Yeah,
Superman and Spider-Man.
Hollywood Superman, complete with dancing the whole bit. Even Spider Girl shows up in it, like she was part of Superman with those.
Super.
I like the
God damn, it's funny shit.
I like the Italian movie poster of Batman 66, the movie with Adam West. His costume is red, just like the Phantom. He's like red there.
Yeah. Well, he actually wore a pink mask at one point in the TV series, but that was a different story. No one is safe with these guys.
And they made a terrible figure that all things 80s Dean complained about, rightly so, where they just made the Batman Alfred with the pink mask.
McFarlane, he does some good things, and then he does so many bad things.
I don't understand what the fuck they're doing, because like I've been buying figures since 1988. Ninja Turtles was the first shit I bought for my own money that wasn't from my parents. So since then, I've been in the toy store pretty much every week, 1988 till now. And so I saw the beginning McFarlane in the 90s. He did the comic figures. He did the Savage Dragon. He did the Jim Lee Ninja Turtles art figures and the weird spacesuits or whatever. Then he did stuff like Metal Gear Solid. I used to have the full first wave of those, like 98, 99. He went into Spawn, Curse of the Spawn, Clive Barker's Tortured Souls. I love those because I like Clive Barker and Hellraiser horror shit. And he went into all kinds of super detailed, like model maker type stuff in terms of detail and paint. Fuck all articulation. Then he went to the movie Maniacs, and then there's a big gap from then till now where he's picked up the DC license and he's gone super cheap on a lot of the plastics and the stuff in it, as Hasbro and every other bastard's done. And the articulation's pretty shit. But I do not understand the selection of costumes and characters. It seems to be event costumes, whatever dumb fucking event they're doing in DC this year. That's the wave of figures, and around that you get some nice classic ones at a stupid scale. Sorry for my rant, but
well, Batman, the Flash movie Batman, where he's in his suit.
Yeah.
The big QC issue. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
When you order online, because a lot of people, and they're all over YouTube, they're getting them. And the logo, it's completely crooked. You're like, what the hell? And some of them are, oh, yeah, this is a great figure. This is a great figure. And you're like, dude, come on. You can't see that the Bat logo's crooked? Dude, I would be trashing that thing, man. And
yeah, I don't like when people are super over enthusiastic about anything that's even genuinely good, let alone something that's a piece of shit. They're just hyping it up.
Right.
Rick asked me, he says, I wonder how Bill would have reacted if that freak guy would have showed up live on his channel. What freak guy? The one at the station, the pink car that picked up the little girl, or freaks in general? Because I've had some crazies on this show, especially back in the old days when I would actually put the link to StreamYard right here and pin it up there to the top and let anybody come on that wanted to come. That was some crazy crap. And some weirdos came in here during that time. I met some cool people. What do we got here? That Godzilla. Let me get you up there where we can see you.
Godzilla with a teddy bear?
It's a kookaburra.
Oh.
Good
Hey,
Lord.
boys and girls, I know y'all want a little bootleg Voltron Godzilla Legos. Just get in my car and you can have them.
Troll tonight showing booty holes and a BBC.
Whoa.
Oh, really? That's so
Do you know
fucked
who
up
would
they made my internet wig.
They
Do you know who might make? Do you know who might make a couple just based on the colors?
Who's cute, the Godzilla or the guy who showed up showing off his? He took a dump live. No shit! Oh my god!
Whoa!
How a couple?
Wait.
Two faces
What?
of evil.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Hold
Wait a minute! Stop the presses! Stop
Hold
the
up.
Oz. I've got to get
Well,
you
it's
in here. You've got to talk about this with me. I'm going to Instagram you immediately with a StreamYard link.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, and here we seen that stranger video, and it give Jonger some crazy flashbacks from his childhood.
This is some weirdo shit right here.
Yeah, no,
I
that
didn't
does
think
sound
there
weird.
was some strangers, but now I remember there was. All right.
We're gonna have to go check this show out.
What?
Later.
Who took a dump? What's this took a dump odds thing?
Okay,
That's insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is why you need a moderator, or you don't put the link at the top of the chat. You got to know, you got to vet your guest.
I've seen people take a dump live, but I got paid for it because I work in aged care, and believe me, it's not pleasant.
No. Ozzy, I just sent you a link, man. Come on the show. Tell me what happened, man. We're all itching to hear this awful story.
Right.
Oh man.
What do you know about such things, you naughty little girl?
Terrible.
You know, that reminds me of the story of what I did to my buddies. He's actually one of my brothers in the Motorcycle Club named Smokey. Smokey is a connoisseur of fine internet porn. And I told him, I said, well, whatever you do and whatever you watch, do not watch Two Girls in One Cup. Do not do it. It will take a piece of your soul that you will never get back.
Don't watch vintage German pornography. It will melt your brain.
After I told him that, and after he assured me that he would not, the next time I saw him, he had that look on his face like a piece of his soul had been torn from his body. I watched it, and I said, as I knew you would.
I think there's one that's even worse than that, if you dare I name it. One Guy, One Jar. Came out about the same time. And it's worse.
Probably made by the same maker of that from Brazil or wherever it was that they made that nasty shit.
No,
I don't watch any of this shit. I just wait for Kevin Smith to describe it in stupid detail, and that's enough for me.
Do not watch it.
I will not.
Don't worry, you can't do me like I did, Smokey. I'm better than that.
Yeah, I wish I didn't.
But remember the first rule of the internet, people. No matter how sick, no matter how depraved, no matter how gutter level that you can think of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Don't worry. There's somebody on the internet doing it, and there's somebody else paying to watch them do it.
Hey, kids, I got a video of a train track of a man spilling his intestines out. Do you want to watch us climb in the back seat?
So. Oh, here we are.
We got Ozzy in the house. I can't see you. It's dark.
Yeah, you have my attention.
That would be the modern day creeper. There'd have to be something else to level it up.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see me because I'm outside. That's my smoking area out here. Because
I
if
think I
y'all
saw
didn't know, I am a
the near
smoker.
the end of your cigarette there.
Yep. Well, after doing 2 minutes shy of 5 hours, had to step outside.
Hey, I understand you can't smoke in the house. Around here, we don't give a shit, but maybe you live in one of those.
Can we call you Smoky Man like X-Files?
That would be me, Jack. I'm the smoking man.
Oh.
I worried about that when I first started doing YouTubes. I was worried about whether I should smoke on camera or not, and then I said to hell
Yeah,
with it.
what shit they're banning this week?
Oh, he's gone. Maybe he'll come back. Come back,
come back.
Ozzy. Come back.
Maybe his signal
walk back
dropped
around
out
there
to
and
the
get your
outside.
connection back again. There he is.
Sorry about that. Getting used to doing this on my phone as opposed to on my computer. So.
That's okay. So tell us the story of what happened here. Some guy came on, showed you some graphic pictures, and then took a dump live. I mean, I don't know.
It was, yeah. So I did. There's been plenty of times where I'll just drop the link in the chat and not worry about it. My show's not really big enough. I don't get a whole lot of random trolls coming into my chat like ever. And tonight advertised as an open mic night, and I don't know if there's just trolls out there looking for like open live streams to just jump on and do this. But, you know, as it was an open mic night, I thought some people might be being brave and trying to go live, maybe not showing their face. And then it's the moment I'd add them to the stream, like the very first time, it was a dude stretching a prolapsed rectum and taking a dookie right there. And so then removed it very quickly. And then a bit later in the stream, another gentleman tried to join, different name.
Same gentleman, different name.
Same guy, different name. Then a little bit later, he got brave, or at least I thought they were brave and showing themselves, and did it again. Like this time, they had a bit of a conversation before doing it. Apparently, you know what, Sir Clifden, I'm going to need your help. He said he was from Texas, so I'm going to need you to get out there and hunt this guy down. Take a dookie on his porch. All right. But
I would get it. I would have a gun, and he wouldn't be coming around doing it no more. Wow.
But yeah, I got hit by the same guy a couple of times throughout the stream. Like one time, randomly joined and like their camera was going. And I was like, I'm just not even going to add this person. And then after that, it quieted down for at least like an hour and a half. No randoms really trying to jump in. And then finally, one last one. But at least this time, it wasn't the same video clip of a dude taking a duke. And, you know, it was giant penis.
Oh.
Oh my.
So I've got some editing to do in the morning for that and cut those segments from the stream.
If YouTube don't get you first.
Well, yeah. I just don't feel like doing it right now. Stream for 5 hours. I need to have a cigarette.
I agree. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a little hint on how to handle this in the future, maybe to vet people when you want to do that. Do not put your link live up there, but tell people to contact you some way, either by email or get you a burner email address from Cockley or something like that you can look at. And when you give them the link back, don't give them the link to the live that you're doing. Have another StreamYard tab open over there. And have another StreamYard open that you can bring them into and see what they're all about before you bring them in. I had to do that back when some things happened earlier in my meeting with another content creator and his minions who wanted to get on the channel. So
I always remember to put a shirt on because it's goddamn hot in Perth. So most of the time I'm just wearing boxer shorts and nothing else and bare feet in the house. So I make sure we're in the camera, like put a damn shirt on.
Johnny probably doesn't even have any pants on right now, Jones.
Oh Lord!
They give
No way we're wearing pants.
You remember the full moon now, but Johnny was getting ready to sun us.
So what? We're going into winter here, but it's still 20 degrees or whatever Fahrenheit. I don't know, 40 Fahrenheit or whatever. So you're still sweating like mad sitting here.
Looking at the chat here, looks like you brought some of your people in with you, Oz. I appreciate the views. Be sure to hit the like button, folks.
Absolutely.
Fill up the comment section with all kinds of comments about how this show either sucked or you liked it. I'm running a poll right now. Let's see how that poll is going. Let's see here. And I don't want to end it. Yes. All I got is 75% yes. So the poll is still going. So 75% have said yes. Somebody has said no to this. I'll leave it up for just a few more minutes, and we'll follow the poll and either run.
Who said no? Let's find their ISP and track them down and just like slap them.
Yeah.
No, let's not.
Controversial.
I also had the trolls in the chat tonight for the first time.
Oh, really? Did you get the bot and sex bots in there? If you got the sex bots in there, you hit the big time. Okay.
No, this one was just more of derogatory language because they couldn't think of more fun things to say. I still feel
creative.
Do you have a set of moderators?
I had a moderator before. Well, I've got, of course, my co-hosts Skelly and Bobby and even Mega J. He's a mod in mine. But then I've had my buddy's Customs as a mod for a while. He's done a great job. But tonight I went ahead and deputized quite a few more people on the channel. Again, just further extending that network, trying to make that blanketed defense to prevent against further in the future. But if I've gotten to the point now where I've got these people coming to my stream, I really feel like I've hit a new level of success on YouTube.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're hitting the big time, Jack, if you're attracting this, because that means that your feed is being put out there. The algorithm is feeding it into the feeds because that's where these cats live at. So, yeah.
Right.
And congratulations, Ozzy. I'm proud of you, my friend. For achieving this achievement here over there at Ostradamus Toy. It's very good, sir.
Appreciate it. Whole new level of success.
It's like the stand-up comedy equivalent of getting hecklers.
Right.
Exactly.
Got to get to a certain level.
That's right.
And when you that level, you have to learn how to respond. There's a pamphlet that you can buy that gives you all of the remarks that you can say back when people give you these lines, and I'll suggest that and getting something like that and memorizing just a few comebacks, and then that can kind of help a little bit when it comes to heckling.
I hear you. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
I was just going to say, I'll put it on a notepad so I'll have it real quick to cut and paste.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I'm glad I don't do live streams, because if people started heckling me, I would just like indulge them to the point where like it's my free entertainment and I'll keep fucking with them all day.
Well, there's several different ways of handling trolls. The best way in the world is to not respond.
Yeah.
Because when you respond to them, they win. That's how they get their jollies, is watching you respond to what they do. When there is no response, then it just kind of defeats them at that point. So yeah.
Like I'm old school. I've been on internet forums for like 15 years. Otherwise,
oh, yeah.
I'll argue with some motherfucker I don't know just for the sake of arguing.
Here's the thing, though, with the internet, man, is like, and I don't know if it was Mike Tyson that said this, or somebody said this, and I nodded, oh yeah. And it's like the internet has made people brave doing things they wouldn't dare do to your face.
Yeah.
Or in your presence. You know what I mean?
Keyboard warriors.
I agree 100%. The difference is, if not you guys, but like if some asshole turn up in my front yard, I'll rescue you fucking naked Greek style any day of the goddamn week. For real. Not on the goddamn internet. Well, it existed.
That's a whole different type of content. We got a whole nother platform for that monetizes way better. Just saying.
But some people are just like, they're all ego and show. And I'm like, no, I'll pop you in the fucking mouth and I'll throw you on the fucking ground and choke you out on the goddamn lawn. And then you can fuck off.
No, it's funny, you know, and it's like, yeah, like an in-person deal or event or attack is way different than a keyboarded one or one through the
Like
internet.
I used to work in security years ago. People punched me in the face just for the entertainment of it, and we weren't allowed to do anything.
Right. You know, it's like I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. So a lot of the times people don't.
I don't want to wrestle you.
People don't want to try it. You know?
You already win. I submit.
I used to even tell you, man, even if you get lucky and knock me out, if I fall forward, I'm going to crush you.
Well, years ago, I used to do jiu-jitsu for 3 or 4 years in Perth City. And there was a guy who was a cop at the time. He'd be probably similar weight and build to you. And I was like 20 kilos lighter than I am now. And trying to do anything to him when he put like a chokehold, forget it, man. Like, no way. Like, if he put a chokehold on you and they teach you, well, reach up and do this and flip. No fucking way. If he's got it on for real, you're not moving him. He's just solid brick house.
See, my problem in a real life situation like that, like I know a little fisticuffs, you know, I know boxers. As soon as someone starts putting jujitsu or wrestling, I mean, man, I don't know what to do with that. You're going to turn me into a human pretzel.
Grab him and choke him or do a bear hug. And if you've got your size and girth, people are fucked. If they're lighter weight than you, they're fucked. They can't do a thing.
Quite honestly, at that point, I'm so mad, I'm probably going for an eye.
Okay, guys. I told myself that I was going to do at least one live stream in my life without a content ID ding from YouTube.
Except for this one.
Except for tonight. It's not going to happen again because something has to be shown at this point, because we have to learn about the internet, people. We have to learn what the internet is for.
Learn about them strangers.
So tonight we're going to learn what the internet is for.
Finally, I get to teach a whole lesson all by myself. And I'm going to teach something relevant, something modern. The internet. The internet is really, really great. So I don't have to wait. For porn. Always some new science. For porn. Browse all day and night. For porn. Live and surfing at the speed of light. For porn. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Porn. Hello, Kid Monster. My soul. Sorry, we don't mean to. You wouldn't mind please being quiet for a minute so I can finish? Okay. Good. I'm glad we have this new technology. For gives us untold opportunity. From your own desktop. Research, browse, and shop until you've had enough and you're ready to stop. For porn. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Be up all night looking me porn to porn. That's gross. You're a pervert. Sticks and stones, Kid Monster. No, really. You're a pervert. look at porn on the internet.
You have no idea. Ready, normal people? Ready. Let me hear it. Internet. I masturbate. All these guys on simply flies for more.
Now, I happen to know for a fact that you, Rod, check your portfolio and trade stocks online. That's correct. And Ryan, you buy things on Amazon.com.
Sure.
And Gary, you keep selling your possessions on eBay. Yes, I do. And Princeton, you sent me that sweet online birthday card.
True. Oh, but Kate, what do you think you do after? Internet is for porn. Internet is for porn. Grab your dick and double click.
Well done, Bill. Absolute classic. Absolute classic.
Yes, sir.
So that was a live show?
Avenue Q, yes. They had a live stage show by mocking Sesame Street called Avenue Q, and yes, that was one of the highlights of that show.
They built some good puppets there.
I think everyone enjoyed that little segment. Let's go to the poll here, and well, the yeses are at 83% right now. The poll's been up quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and end this at 83%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this out for the end of the show, guys. Anybody that's in here now, when the show's over with, can stick around. We'll chat afterwards. Ozzy, I want to hear all the behind the scenes goodies that we can't talk about on air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video. I'm going to put everybody down in the green room, and when the video is over, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. And so I'll go ahead and say it now. Good journey, everybody. Everybody else, say your piece before I do that. Jones or
Adios.
Clifton.
Good journey.
Ozzy.
Good journey, y'all. Good journey.
And Johnny.
It's good night for me. It's good night from him.
All right, here we go. The magic that we did earlier for Grindhead Jim. We'll play that, and then we'll play the end.
Magic Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who will entertain you tonight is an award-winning member of the Society of Memphis Magicians. He is a scholar, a philanthropist, and a humanitarian. He is also a pathological liar. Please welcome Bill Thompson.
What I want to do is I want to see if there's a connection between the two of you guys.
We are touching.
Now, I'm talking a psychic mental connection, something that will last for a lifetime. Are you two compatible with one another? I think this is the perfect trick to determine that. Okay.
It's a little late to do this shit now.
Now, I'm just saying. But here we go. All right, first of all, we're going to start in our imaginations, and then we're going to move into reality, okay? What I want you to imagine right now is that in each one of these packets of cards are the four queens from the perspective deck that it's from. So the four queens from the blue deck and the four queens from the red deck. Just imagine that in your mind, okay? And I will start with Jim. Jim, I want you to pick a packet, the blue packet or the red.
Red.
Okay, the red packet. Okay, so that leaves the blue packet for you, Lauren. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to show you these cards. So I'm going to try to show you the cards. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see those? And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 blue cards. All right. So, Lauren.
Yes.
You know that there are two colors in the deck. There's the black cards and the red cards.
Yes.
And the black has 2 suites. There's the clubs and the spades.
Yes.
And the red cards have 2 suits. That's the diamonds and the hearts.
Yes.
What I want you to do with the 4 cards, clubs, spades, diamonds, hearts, I want you in your mind, don't say anything, don't tip us off, don't tell Jim. In your mind, I want you to think of one of those queens. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to get Jim to do the same thing you're doing, but I don't want him to think of the same cards you're thinking of. So, whisper in his just the color of the card you're thinking of. Tell him the suit, just the color. Therefore, he can pick up an opposite color. If you're picking red, he'll pick black. If you pick black, he'll just whisper the color in his ear. I don't want to hear it. Okay, just whisper the color of the card you're thinking of. Whisper the suit color.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
You think of the opposite color queen. One of them. You got it? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one card from that packet. I'm going to flip that card over, and I'm going to throw it into this packet. And then I'm going to take one card from this packet. I'm going to flip that card over, and I'm going to throw it into that packet. Done. Okay. For the first time, Lauren, which queen did you pick?
You can say.
Say it louder.
Spade.
The queen of spades.
Yes.
You picked the queen of spades. Jim, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you pick?
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
What the fuck?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, so if you remember, I moved one card from one deck into the other one, and I moved one deck from the other one.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
You know he didn't touch me.
We'll start here, and then we'll start here and do that.
Do you see it?
How much?
Did you?
What?
Can you see it?
Now. Wait a minute.
Not through.
Had you not picked that queen, and had you not picked that queen, there would have been no connection, but there was a connection.
Yep.
I think you just earned yourself an additional invitation to the wedding.
Bill, you kind of scare me now, but that was cool. I don't get it.
It's called magic.
I don't get it. Holy shit, that was really cool. How the fuck do you do that?
You guys, I think y'all are a pair that are going to be connected pretty well. I think that trick proved it.
That was really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking this magical journey with us. Please be sure to come back and see us again real soon.